Foster's Bar and Pizza, home of the Grandview Browns backers.
We've got an accident that's blocking the right lane on eastbound 70 on the west side before Wilson Road. That's causing some backup. And expect some slower traffic on southbound 270 on the east outer belt from Livingston Avenue to I-70. This report is sponsored by Direct Auto. Direct Auto Insurance is for uncompromisers. With a super low down payment, you can stop compromising and keep driving. Get a free quote at directauto.com. Down payments vary, does not mean savings. How you buy can affect price. National General Group, Winston-Salem. I'm Nicole for 97.1 The Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by The Waterworks. Trust the pros at The Waterworks for all your plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling needs. Visit thewaterworks.com today to get started.
At Diamond Cellar, we've been crafting love stories for over 77 years. Trust, quality, and always the guaranteed best price. Visit us today to experience the Diamond Cellar difference. Stop into our showroom on Sawmill Road or at Easton Town Center.
Hey, Ohio, Prime Sports has arrived. The only book where you can lay 108 instead of 110 on all your favorite teams. Football, baseball, basketball, hockey. Why would you risk more to win the same amount at another sports book? Download the Prime Sports Ohio app or visit our website, primesportsbook.com, and use promo code JUSTSPORTS to get a welcome bonus up to $100. And be a member of the Prime Sports family.
Terms and conditions apply. Visit website for details. Must be 21 or older and present in Ohio. If you or anyone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Common Man here for Care Heating and Cooling. Weather is unpredictable, but the inside of your home should be comfortable just the way you like it. And the best way to avoid those unnecessary surprises is with a care plan. See, with a care plan, you get priority service, system maintenance in case of an emergency. Just another way to give you and your family peace of mind. And maintaining your systems properly can help save you money. A properly maintained furnace and air conditioner run more efficiently, reducing your utility usage. Regular maintenance also prevents breakdowns and extends the life of your equipment. I'm on the care plan, and I'm quite the expert. I'll stop by and give your system a once-over. I will. Don't tempt me. I end every commercial the same way, telling you to hire Care when you need a company you can trust. It's not just a slogan. That's the Care creed. How about this? Lennox. They have thousands of dealers nationwide. HVAC royalty. Last year, Lennox gave Care their coveted Partner of the Year award because they're trusted by their customers and their partners. Care Heating and Cooling. Call 1-800-COOLING or book an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com when you need a company you can trust.
Get your X to the Lodge for the freshest menu additions. Spice up your wing order with new sauces featuring the chicken tikka or spicy chili crisp. Or try our famous flatbreads with the backyard barbecue brisket or chicken tikka. Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
We've seen it before. Politicians and lobbyists playing games, drawing voting maps to keep power in their hands, not ours. Courts have ruled Ohio's voting districts unconstitutional 7 times, while our communities have been left out again and again. But this November, you have a chance to change that with Issue 1. Issue 1 will make it illegal for politicians to manipulate voting districts for themselves or their own party. Instead, it creates an open, transparent process where a diverse group of citizens, not politicians, will draw the lines. No more backroom deals, no more gerrymandering, just fairer maps that represent our communities. Issue 1 gives you and me the power to ensure everyone's vote counts. This is about real change, a chance to end the games and make our voices heard. So vote yes on Issue 1, fair representation and power to the people. Paid for by citizens, not politicians.
Common Man here. I've told you about my friends at Sell for 1% Realtors. I am back to remind you that if you're thinking about selling your home, it should not cost you 6% to do it. Their premise is almost too good to be true. They sell your home for 1% commission, not 6. That's it. I had to check it out for myself, see if it was legit. I met with the family-run business here in Central Ohio. They will give you everything you expect from any realtor for a whole lot less. This is full service, not discount. They literally do everything that a realtor who charges you 6% is going to do, and probably more. They can do it because they use today's technology, which has made the realtor's job easier, taking photos, signing documents on your phone. And instead of keeping their prices the same like everybody else does, they pass the savings on to you because they know you're going to be happy with the service. Tell a friend, they get more business. Oh, what a novel concept. If I knew about these guys 10 years ago, I would have saved a boatload of money. On average, customers save about 10 grand in commissions. If you're selling, give my guys a call. 614-451-6616. Sellfor1%.com.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good afternoon. I'm Paul Keels. Well, the rest of the NBA got their regular season started last night. Well, at least 2 games anyway. Cleveland Cavaliers will play their first of the year tonight, playing in Toronto against the Raptors. From baseball, Los Angeles Dodgers manager Dave Roberts has picked Jack Flaherty to be their Game 1 starter in the World Series Friday night against New York. The Yankees have already slated Garrett Cole to be their Game 1 starter. Cleveland Browns today announcing that Jameis Winston will start at quarterback this weekend against Baltimore. Meanwhile, head coach Kevin Stefanski is turning the play calling over to offensive coordinator Ken Dorsey. Seattle Seahawks have traded linebacker Jerome Baker and a 4th-round draft pick to Tennessee for linebacker Ernest Jones. And the Kansas City Chiefs earlier today acquired Pro Bowl wide receiver DeAndre Hopkins from Tennessee. This update brought to you by Dormar Heating and Air Conditioning. Need an emergency repair? Dormar can be there today, guaranteed. Visit them at dormarheating.com. Breaking sports news when it happens on the Fan, Ohio sports destination.
The only thing harder than common man's arteries is T-Bone thinking about a red-bellied woodpecker. This is Man and Bone.
You can tweet the show at Man and Bone 971. Jeff Thidoff is in. Tito is here. We've also got Panama Ted here. I also have some news for you. Tomorrow on our shows, 6 to 9 a.m. Morning Juice. You should listen every day. But you should specifically listen at 7:33 because Dean Evison, your Blue Jackets head coach.
Gee.
Nice win over Toronto yesterday. He is going to be on the show tomorrow along with Albert Breer at 8:05. Little Monday morning quarterback action, Sports Illustrated there. Also, if you want to hear some college football discussion, Bishop and Friends with Bo and Reeser, Paul Feinbaum will be joining them at 10:33 a.m. So I don't know why I said a.m. 10:33. Rothman and Ice going to have a Hall of Famer on. It's Gold Jacket Thursday, 2:30. Isaac Bruce.
Isaac Bruce
is going to be on the show with them.
Fantasy football legend for me.
A fantasy football, not a real football legend. Just
fantasy football legend. He's in my fantasy football Hall of Fame. How about that?
And tomorrow night, the stars just keep happening because on tomorrow night's show, on the Buckeye Show, which I believe is going to be hosted by Jeff Thidoff.
Yes.
You will be joined in studio for an hour by Buckeye legend Andy Katzenmoyer.
I have a gift.
You have a gift?
Well, it's a gift. I have the gift of offending former Buckeye athletes.
What does that mean? Have you offended him?
I kind of did. Like when I first worked with Dane.
Okay, Dane Sandsbacher.
I met him the very first segment we were doing. There was a wide receiver that committed to Oregon over Ohio State.
Okay.
And I'm saying, like, because I'm trying to put a spin on, like, I don't really care. Look, I like receivers to be tall. This guy's like 5'11". Realizing that I'm saying that, I look over at Dane, and Dane's giving me like a stink eye. I said, how tall are you? He said, 5'11". And I said, well, okay, other guys that are 5'11".
Did you? Come on, you knew though. You didn't subconscious.
No, I didn't.
Do you think your brain subconsciously just sabotages you, where it's like,
oh, I'm sure it is, yeah.
Like, because you're thinking like, I don't want to mention short receivers.
Right.
I don't want to mention short receivers. Oh, here's a story. I'm going to talk about this.
I know. It was a mistake.
And then it goes. It's like
a mistake.
Austin Powers with the mole.
I never saw the movie. I made some kind of comment to Katzenmoyer about how many times he would have gotten fined for targeting, things like that. But
why is that offensive?
That wasn't. That's what I'm saying. Like, I was really on my game that day to make sure I didn't do it. But I offended Dane. I've offended DeVere. I made some tattoo comment around DeVere when it wasn't. It didn't mean anything, but the way I said it, the way it came out, I think it offended him. And Tyvus, I brought up the Virginia Tech game. It just, things like that.
Yeah, see, this is where you and I are different. Because, see, for me, like, what I would want to do is get over the awkwardness by making a joke about the thing.
Yeah.
But I do that with myself, with my weight. I always try to make a joke about that so people know, like, hey, it's cool. It's not like I don't know. But yesterday in the studio, we were switching out, and DeVere said to me, he's like, is that a new tattoo? And I said, yes. And he was like, oh, okay, I hadn't seen that yet. And we were just talking about it. And then I left. And then, of course, my head, I was like, I had a moment.
Right,
I
you should have said,
something.
yeah, it didn't cost me gold pants.
Let me be clear. I don't know if I should have said it. I realized I could have said it.
Right.
But then I'm glad I didn't because I don't want to, I don't think he would care. I think at this point he's probably moved on throughout that. I mean, I'm sure he has.
Hey, he's got a very mature view of it now. Yes, he certainly does. Yes,
he does. And by the way, I have a very mature view of it too, which is it's BS that anything ever came of that.
Absolutely is. Yes, 100%.
Especially after all the crap we've seen in college football that you can get away with and no one cared
100%,
about.
100%, yep.
But yeah, anyway, so there we go. Tomorrow there's lots of Buckeyes on. We will have Adam Rittenberg on our show if you want to hear that. So we love Adam Rittenberg. We'll talk plenty of college football with him tomorrow. The big problem on their hands that the NFL has, it is Tua Tagovailoa.
Yep.
The guy has now come out, did a press conference a day or two ago where he said, I'm willing to play. I'm ready to go. I want to be back in action. He apparently is going to go back to practice here soon, I think.
Yep.
If he's not already.
He might play this week, yeah.
Okay. This is a guy who we've seen have multiple head injuries, where we have seen the concussion response, all these different things have happened. He was asked specifically, will you wear a Guardian cap, which, some players are wearing. They're the big foam padding things that guys wear in practice. You are also allowed to wear them in a game.
Mm-hmm.
Guys do wear them in a game. He would seem to be a prime candidate for wearing one in a game.
Yeah.
He said, no, personal preference, I'm not going to do that. And then he made some kind of quote saying more or less, well, you take a risk every day when you get in your car, when you drive to work.
When you get out of bed.
Yeah. And I would just argue with that and say, yeah, I mean, but by that logic, and again, I'm not trying to get into a philosophical semantics argument, but like by that point, it's like, well, you know what I mean? Why are you smoking cigarettes? Even though, like, I don't smoke now, but if I took it up and someone said, hey, don't you know that can cause cancer? It's like, oh, people get cancer no matter what. But runners get cancer. It's like, yeah, but we know the risks of this specific activity.
Sure.
Lots of people have had they've developed cancer because of this thing. It is a warning on these labels. Like, I'm just saying, you're right. There are risks in life, but why take needless ones? And I know the answer is because he likes playing football, but
that's his identity. I mean, that's what he's done his whole life, playing for that. And I know, look, the money, I think he's got $75 million banked already. And so, but he's got another $130 million or something he could make based on his current contract if he keeps on playing. I struggle with this, Bone, because, like, I know that Tua should stop playing. Right. He should not play tackle football anymore.
Seems like a bad idea.
Right. But he also obviously has the right to do that. Like, unless you want to start advocating for the NFL to step in and say, no, you can't play. Independent doctors cleared him, which is, you could probably get different situations, find somebody who does it.
I know.
I mean, a lot of independent doctors gave Elvis drugs, but
that's true.
So, like, you could find your way around that kind of thing. But I'm not surprised he's going to keep playing. He loves to do it. He wants to do it. He's already got generational money, but it's hard to watch, though.
Well, right. And I think I understand where you're coming from, too, with the idea of the NFL setting a precedent of, like, now do you step in whenever, how many players have had concussion symptoms? Or we have seen Tua Tagovailoa have the get up and then stumble to the sideline moment. Yeah. We've had the times where his arms just go straight up in the air as he's laying on the ground, and you're like, is he alive? Like, you're worried about him for a second, you find out he's okay, or he's alive and he's dealing with the concussion. But that visual makes it more stark. But I'm quite sure there have been people not as famous as him who played in the NFL, who had at least the same amount of concussions that we've never thought twice about telling them to sit down.
Sure.
So I understand that argument. I think where you run into a problem is this, if I'm the NFL, is we say we care about head injuries. We say we think that we're trying to make the game safer. Yes, everyone has a right to kind of decide what they want to do. When it comes to, if Tua Tagovailoa wants to go out and play, like, go out and head soccer balls with his kid or whatever, whoever he's got in his life, because he wants to do that, that might also contribute to concussions. I don't know. But he can go do that on his own time. If he wants to take up skateboarding where you might fall and, hit your head again, he can do that. When it comes to the NFL, they have a business to protect, a brand to protect, and they have millions of people watching on TV. They are tasked with the idea of trying to make their game seem as safe as possible. Tua Tagovailoa is a walking example of how dangerous that game is. And when you are trying to convince young people, parents of young people, to put their kids in Pop Warner and anything else, when you have a guy out there who is at the pinnacle of the game, and if he gets hit again, and this time let's say it's an even worse looking video of whatever happens, because if he plays, he's definitely going to get a concussion again. There's no doubt about that. I don't think you can convince anyone otherwise. Like, he's probably going to get a concussion again.
Do you think that the NFL should have a rule in place where if you've been diagnosed with, say, 3 concussions, you have to wear the Guardian helmet?
I think that doesn't prevent you from playing.
Right.
And it doesn't prevent you from making money.
Then your choice is, I don't want to play with the Guardian helmet versus I'm not allowed to play football.
Sure. You can decide that. The NHL has a rule, right? You have to wear a visor.
Have to wear a visor, yep.
Yeah. And there are, I think I just saw the stat the other night. There's 3 guys in the NHL who still are grandfathered in from the old rule where you don't have to wear the visor.
Yeah.
They have kept not wearing the visor ever since that rule came into effect.
Right.
But everyone who entered the league has to put it on. I mean, you could go with that route too, maybe they start mandating you have to, but I would rather that be a personal choice up until, all right, once you hit a certain number of concussions, if you want to keep playing in our league, this is what our rules say.
Right.
I wonder, but again, this is why I say they have a headache, because I bet you if they put a rule like that in place, an enterprising lawyer with a lot of time and money on his hands would say, hey, if Tua Tagovailoa doesn't want to wear the Guardian cap, but wants to play professional football somewhere else, where's the comparable league in the United States where he could go do that? And if the answer is, well, there isn't one, they would say, cool, we have an antitrust lawsuit for you. Now, again, I'm not a lawyer. I don't know if that's how that works. But, like, if McDonald's puts a rule like that in place, you could say, well, I can go to Wendy's or Burger King or somewhere else, and I can go work there if I don't want to do that.
Right.
That's not the option in the NFL. They are the only pro football league that is of consequence in this country. So I feel like that's got to at least be a little bit dicey for them. They don't want to put a limit on it, but they also don't want to have another video of him. Every time he plays, by the way, that's going to be the number one storyline. Every person watching it's going to be aware of it.
Sure.
The broadcast is probably going to have to, they're going to either talk about it or they're going to be told by the NFL, don't bring this up because it's bad for us.
Right.
And then they're going to have to compromise their journalistic integrity. I'm just saying, like, there's no way this is a good situation for the NFL, and there's really not a lot they can do about it, maybe other than say, you have to wear the Guardian cap, and that's it.
Sure.
But you might open yourself up to other litigation at that point.
I think you will, too, at that point. But, yes, I'm with you. There's no way it would go through, but I wish the NFL tried something like that, but it wouldn't change anything. Tua wants to play. He's going to play as long as some independent doctor says he can play.
Well, and even there, I mean, I believe when they clear you from a concussion, all they're saying is, like, you don't currently have one.
Right.
But I don't think they can tell you, and you're less likely to get a concussion. They know concussions, once you get one, you're a greater likelihood to get a second one.
Yep.
When you get multiple of them, you're a greater likelihood to keep getting them.
Yep.
So it is the same almost as a guy who's, like, maybe torn his ACL 3 times.
Yeah.
You're probably going to be more likely, if you've torn it 3 times, you go try to play again.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be more likely to not be as stable as your other knee. They can't stop that guy from playing either, but we're, I guess, more accustomed to guys getting their legs, turned around or whatever else happens than we are seeing a guy have that happen. Right. And that's a visual that the NFL, I know, does not want. So it's a rough situation there. I don't know what they're going to do, but the answer probably right now is nothing. Just let it play out and see what happens. We have more Wildcard Wednesday, so we're going to get to those next. And also, I don't know where my sound went. Where'd the sound go? I lost my wild card.
The first time I hosted a radio show.
That's right, Teddy. Thank you. I almost called you Teddy. I meant to say Tito.
It's okay. Tito, Teddy, it's Toto, whatever.
Also, Aaron Rodgers has created a conspiracy theory about himself. Thank you, Ted. He's created a conspiracy theory about himself. We'll talk about that next. It's Man and Bone on the Fan.
Fan Traffic.
Sponsored by Meister's Bar and Pizza, home of the Grandview Browns backers.
We've got an accident that's blocking the right lane on eastbound Hayden Run Road. After Dublin Road, police are on scene causing some holdup. And also watch out for an accident that's blocking the left lane on eastbound 270 on the North Outer Belt after 315. We also have a slowdown on westbound 670 at Grandview Avenue. This report is sponsored by Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Valvoline Instant Oil Change wants you to breathe out your oil anxiety and breathe in automotive peace. Visit them today. I'm Nicole for 97.1 The Fan Traffic.
Dormar, your pilot hero.
Dormar can be there today, guaranteed. Visit them at dormarhvac.com.
Direct auto insurance is for uncompromisers. Like Matt. When his old car insurance got so expensive, do you think he walked until his sneakers wore out? No, because he found savings with Direct Auto so he could drive instead of compromise. With savings of up to 25% on state minimum coverage, you too can stop compromising and keep driving. Get a free quote at directauto.com or a store near you. Savings vary, terms apply. National General Group, Winston-Salem.
Fall inventory inventory sale at Logan Services. Save up to $2,500 and 0% APR financing for 72 months on a qualifying train system. Plus, your choice of one air quality freebie. It's hard to stop a train with a system for every home and budget. Now, for a limited time, save up to $1,000 on a water heater and water conditioning combo. Ask us about tax credits when you book your free estimate now. Logan Services.
We all know Central Ohio's growing fast. It's making traffic worse and life more expensive. That's why voting yes on Issue 47 is so important. Issue 47 will help folks get to work faster and cheaper by creating CODA Rapid Bus Service. That means more routes, better hours, and more reliable service. That will expand access to transportation for everyone in our community, from the elderly to the disabled, to veterans and students. And Issue 47 will make our neighborhoods safer and more walkable by building 500 miles of sidewalks, trails, and bikeways. When we pass Issue 47, we'll get $1 billion in matching funds from the federal government to pay for it. We're already sending our tax dollars to D.C. Let's bring some of that money home to help our community. Issue 47 means safer neighborhoods and a better quality of life for our families. It's an easy call. Vote yes on Issue 47. Paid for by moving Central Ohio forward.
Most radio stations suck. Here's why. They don't invest in local programming. We're live and local 14 hours a day. You can rest assured that every stupid thing we say is 100% local. Homegrown dumb since day one. The Fan.
Just how liberal is Sherrod Brown? Take a look at his actual votes. That's what Debbie from the Cleveland area did.
I thought I knew Sherrod Brown. Now I hear he's super liberal, so I went and looked at his votes. Brown voted to allow late-term partial birth abortions. It's horrific. The AMA said it should be banned, but Sherrod voted for it more than once.
In fact, Sherrod Brown voted for partial birth abortion 6 different times.
Partial birth abortion? Allowing trans biological men in girls' locker rooms and girls' sports? Sex change surgery for kids? He seemed like a good guy, but with Brown's voting record, I just can't vote for him.
Sherrod Brown has let us down. When you look at his actual votes, Sherrod Brown is just way too liberal for Ohio. Senate Leadership Fund paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. www.senateleadershipfund.org.
If you recently lost health coverage due to a life change, healthcare.gov is here for you. Like it was there for Marcus when he lost his job, and Keisha when she turned 26 and lost her parents' insurance, and Elena when she went off Medicaid. There are many other ways to qualify. Visit healthcare.gov today to see if you're eligible to enroll. Limited time to enroll. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Hey, folks, it's game day, and the betting's going to be intense, Drew.
You said it, Dave, but a good pregame routine keeps betting responsible.
That's right. You got to pause before you play.
Good call. Sports betting is hot, but it can be risky.
And pausing to set limits is an all-star move.
That's right, Dave. If you bet on sports, pause before you play to set limits, recognize the risk, and know when to stop.
Learn more at pausebeforeyouplay.org.
Is thinning hair or a receding hairline making you self-conscious? Try Hair Grow from New Nordic. Stop feeling embarrassed about thinning hair and start feeling your best with Hair Grow.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
A little breezy out there, but sunny and dry. Temperatures holding in the mid to upper 70s overnight. We'll keep the breezes up. Temperatures down to around 40 degrees. We'll see a cool start and a pleasant finish on Thursday. Temperatures back in the low 60s. With your 10 weather impact forecast, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jerry Martz on The Fan.
ESPN Bet is the official sports book of Common Man and T-Bone. On your phone or in person at Hollywood Casino Columbus. The Fan.
We did the math. Common Man has hosted over 5,000 shows on The Fan. 3 of them have been halfway decent. Here's Man and Bone.
Teddy.
No, don't even do it. No. Come on.
Say one of them. No. But hey, it's all right. It can't be. The rule is if the 3 of us, me, Common Man, and Ted, are not all in,
right. It can't be one.
It can't be one of them. So but this is not one of them.
But this is the best show that the 3 of us have ever done.
That's right. This is the best one
I do want to say that,
me, and Tito have done.
Tito, this is the best show you've done with us.
I I appreciate that. Hey, I've worked with a lot of producers. You're definitely one of them.
That's right.
This is, Tito, every year, the first show of January,
yes,
we'll get done with the show.
Yeah.
If that's the second, the third, whenever that day falls, we'll walk back and tell it, be like, hey, best show of the year. Every year, it's an annual tradition. And for me, the new year hasn't really started until Ted has said, hey, best show of the year. And then I know it's been a good one.
As soon as I do that, then you can't say Happy New Year anymore.
It's all over. My Christmas tree evaporates. Like the minute he says that, it's just gone. Even if it's not down, it's down now. That's how it goes. It's Wildcard Wednesday. Tito is here. Man and Bone brought to you by the Hinderer Motor Company right here on The Fan. Would you like wild cards first, or would you like Aaron Rodgers with his new conspiracy theory about his own body?
Let's do wild cards. Okay. Those are fun.
All right. This one is from Hubert, who says, my guys. Yummy, 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 I got love in my tummy. He says, Evil attacks Columbus, and the staff of 97.1 The Fan are given Voltron/Power Ranger-style robots by the good aliens to win the battle. What animal/object is your robot? And who takes each body part? Because if you remember, all the robots would then combine into a giant mechanized robot. He says Timmy is the booty cheeks by default. So Timmy is the ace, just all for what it's worth. I mean, go ahead, Tito.
I'm trying to think of that. What would your animal? That's a complicated question.
You know what my animal would be? Because I don't think they represented this well enough. A lot of the animals were land animals in many of those shows. I think a whale. I would be the whale. Yes, I would want to be the whale.
Can I be a dragon?
All right. Well, it's not really an animal. I mean, I guess you could be like, what are those big giant like monitor lizard things? Aren't those like Komodo dragons or something?
Komodo dragons or
is that a thing?
Yeah, it's a thing.
Yeah, you could be one of those, I guess.
They're slow though. I want to fly with fire.
Well, that's not a thing.
I know.
We don't have fire-breathing animals, Tito.
All right, then I guess.
Unless they're sipping on your vodka, maybe, and then they
then how about a tauntaun?
Again, these are not real.
I saw the movie. I think they're real.
Do you like lions?
Lions are okay. Is there an animal? What's the biggest animal you think you could beat up?
Oh,
there's a wild card for you. What's the biggest animal?
I didn't even do the thing. How am I? I'm just neglecting everything. I'm so sorry. Beat up. You mean if it attacked me, I could stop it?
And you're like, I got this. Kangaroo?
No.
You don't think so?
Have you seen kangaroos? Like
I know,
they lean back on their tail and they'll kick you with those feet.
But not a lot of side-to-side movement, though. So
but they can hop.
Yeah.
So you run and you're like, I got over here. And then it goes, okay, hop, hop. And then it's right there and it's beating you up again.
Okay. Horse?
No. A horse? How am I going to beat up a horse? It would trample me.
I saw it in Blazing Saddles.
He punched a horse.
Knocked him out, too. One punch.
That's fine.
I don't think horses take a punch. Okay. Biggest animal, though.
I'm not, number one, I'm not a former NFL lineman, so I probably couldn't knock out a horse. But sure, if you're that strong, maybe. Me, I think I could probably take on, I could deal with like a large goose. I could grab, I always have thought if one of those Canadian geese ran up on me, I would grab it and then the neck would be like a lawnmower starter and I would just boom, like that.
You would do that.
And that's probably how I would, if I had to. I wouldn't want to.
Right.
I wouldn't prefer to. I'd prefer to leave that animal alone. So long as it leaves me alone.
Okay.
What are you thinking? Because I'm guessing you've got something insane.
Well, I didn't until I thought about it, but I think an old sickly kangaroo. Like one that's got like mange or whatever, whatever it is. I think something like that. Like where it's not a kangaroo in his prime. It's not like Tyson in the 90s prime.
Not a prime kangaroo.
No, I'm talking about like current Riddick Bowe kangaroo. Something like that.
Okay.
I think that one I could beat.
I don't think you. I mean, again, where are we I thought it was just like a version of the animal.
You're right. No, it is.
You can't cherry pick. There's probably a tiger that's really down on his luck we could go after. I'm saying there's an elephant that's like lost some weight and forgot where it was.
Right. It doesn't have a trunk or missing a leg.
Right. I'm saying.
I guess they have legs.
I think it has to be an average version of that species that's just selected at random. Now, as far as knocking an animal out, I do think
calling me right now.
I think I could knock out a deer.
A deer?
I think I could, if a deer, again, not that I want one charging at me, not one with antlers, but if it's standing there and it got a little threatening and it started to move towards me, I think
I'd get that in there.
I'm like tall enough where I could get it at, a horse, I'd be reaching up to do that.
Yeah.
I'm short. A deer, I'd probably, and again, most deer aren't like 400 pounds. Like some of them are big, but there's a lot of them that are not. I think I could deal with that. This is a great question. Yeah. It's terrible.
That's completely wrong.
Thank you, Leanna. It is Wildcard Wednesday while we're doing that. More wild cards in a second, but first, Aaron Rodgers denies eating a booger live on TV. So Sunday night's game, Pittsburgh obviously was taking it to the Jets. Things were not going well for Aaron Rodgers. Like I've been saying, he just needs another former Packers player to show up, and then it'll be fixed. I bet you they'll get it right then, Tito. Anyway, he was apparently I've seen the video. He's standing on the sidelines. He's got the little hoodie hat on thing, and he starts like fiddling with his nose and doing that whole like I've got an itch, and then I'm itching my mustache, and then I'm itching my upper lip, and then he does a little swipe with the thumb, and then a little quick. There's a little something going with the hand, the finger, and the thumb, and then into the mouth goes all that. And people said it looks like that's what he did. He was on Pat McAfee's show, and he said,
of course he was.
Quote, yeah, go figure. I've been alerted to this. And actually, in the moment, I was thinking, man, I hope the camera isn't on me right now. He then, watching the clip, said, it actually kind of looks like it. But he said, I've actually never eaten my boogers. That's one thing I'm very proud of. It's a tough look to try to defend because the video, it's a little incriminating. He then suggested a side view might show there was no booger consumption. So again, we're now Zapruder filming. We're doing the Zapruder film breakdown of Aaron Rodgers. Like, no, I need another angle so we could see. You would understand the booger went forward and then back, and then you'd see what happened. And it's just, I don't think so.
I don't I don't know why we're spending anyone's spending time on this.
I do. Aaron Rodgers is saying that something that you saw is not actually true. That is Aaron Rodgers' MO. He doesn't believe reality, including when it happens to him and his own body.
You think he did it?
I think it was an inside job. I actually think the government knew, and they caused him to do it.
Picker somewhere?
I think there was
a second picker.
I think that's what it was. Yeah. I think we need to find out, what did the government know and when did they know it?
Yeah,
that's what I'm going to say. Fahrenheit, Aaron Rodgers knows. That's what I'm going to say.
That's another band name, by the way, for you guys.
That's good. Speaking, by the way, of band names, here's a wild card for you. Sonic Temple put the lineup out today. The headliners this year: Korn on Thursday, Metallica we knew Friday and Sunday. Saturday, so they're playing two shows. If you missed that, Metallica playing two separate sets Friday and Sunday.
They said not going to repeat anything. Also, I think
no repeat weekend. No repeat, yeah. And then Linkin Park, the newly reformed with new lead singer, what's her face? I forget her name. Linkin Park is going to be headlining on Saturday. The bands with them on Saturday, Incubus will be
playing.
Cyndi
Lauper is Linkin Park's new lead singer.
That would be quite a situation. I forget her name, but I know that she and the main rapper dude for Linkin Park, I think they both are I think they go to the same church, and so they're friends, and that's how this all got hooked up, from what I've heard. So let them live.
Sing together on Sundays. I got you.
Each their own.
Yep,
That's fine. It's all good. Friday, though, I like this lineup. Metallica, Rob Zombie. Teddy would go to that. Teddy, you're a zombie. You like White Zombie, Rob Zombie, the whole thing.
Yeah, I saw Rob Zombie in concert.
Can I ask a question about that?
Yeah.
Is that a group or a person?
Well, White Zombie group.
Okay. Rob Zombie person?
Rob Zombie, the main guy in White Zombie.
The zombie last name of the band? Is that like the shtick?
Yeah.
Is it like a Tommy Zombie?
Rob Zombie is his name.
Right, I understand
that's his character.
I'm saying, they also have the zombie name, though.
I don't know if they all did that in White Zombie. Teddy, did they do that?
They're great questions 30 years ago.
Rob Zombie, all that stuff is him. And he's now horror movie guy, which I know that's not my thing, but Teddy loves him. He watches all that stuff. And then on that same day, Friday, you got Metallica, Rob Zombie, Alice Cooper, Testament, Exodus, Overkill. I mean, it's like, Teddy, that's your high school playlist in your car. It's all right there.
Right there. Nailed it.
Motley Crue is the only one you're missing. That's everybody. That's
in his Trans Am with the T-tops.
He had Skid Row and Motley Crue, the only two that are not on this list already. He's got it. I love Testament, by the way. That's a band. They've been an all-time band for me. I wanted to see. So, yeah. And then they got all kinds of stuff. They have another band. Well, you know what? We're too late. Anyway, should be fun.
Yes.
I can't wait to do it.
Okay.
What's coming up next? More Wildcard Wednesday. That's what's coming up next. Man and Bone on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
Sponsored by Meister's Bar and Pizza, home of the Grandview Browns backers.
We've got some slower traffic that's causing a 10-minute delay on eastbound 70 on the east side from James Road to 270. And we also have a 10-minute delay on westbound 161 from Johnstown Road to Hamilton Road. This report is sponsored by Z-Bar. Tough roads demand tougher protection. Shield your vehicle's underside with genuine Z-Bart undercoating from $2.99 and fortify your truck bed against scratches, impacts, and dents with Rhino Lining Spray-On Bed Liner starting at $4.99. Z-Bart, your vehicle's best defense. I'm Nicole for 97.1 The Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic sponsored by Pella Windows and Doors. Voted by Columbus homeowners as the leading and most trusted window brand. Find out why at PellaColumbus.com or at their brand new Polaris showroom.
Post Malone is teaming up with Raising Cane's to empower the next generation of artists. For a limited time, 2 exclusive double-sided Post Malone posters are available at Raising Cane's. So post up your combo at Cane's while supplies last and support a good cause. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love.
Welcome, Columbus, to the all-new Toyota Direct. We've expanded our showroom, enhanced our service with 6 lanes, 85 bays, and 65 techs. Enjoy the new lounges with all of the comforts and extras. And now get 0% for up to 72 months on 100% of all new 24 and 25 Toyotas. Come see your all-new Toyota Direct, the area's #1 Toyota dealer.
0% for 72 on a new 24 Tundra with approved credit. Max financed MSRP on vehicle. Cannot combine offers. Must take delivery from dealer stock by 10/31/24. See dealer for details.
Looking to sell your home? Don't pay 6% commission. Call my guys at Sell for 1% Realtors. They're full service, not a do-it-yourself kind of thing. On average, customers save over $10,000. Give them a call, 614-451-6616. That's 451-6616.
Thank you for calling Great Lakes. Great Lakes Kia.
Do you like scary movies?
Nah, they don't scare me.
What does scare you?
High car payments. They make me want to scream.
And at Great Lakes Kia?
We have brand new Kias under $5 a day. Come pick one out.
Maybe I'm already here.
Cool. Lease new 24 Kia Forte LXS, EV6 Wind, and Sorrento LX. All 3 under $5 a day.
That's only $139 a month for 24 months.
Plus new 24 Kia Telluride LX under $8 a day.
$249 for 24 months.
At Great Lakes Kia.
What if I have scary credit?
No problem. Get approved with 0% financing.
Perfect. And I'm right behind you.
Oh, hi.
Hello.
Great cars, great people, Great Lakes Kia.
In Columbus, GreatLakesKia.com.
Can I hang up now?
To qualified buyers, visit GreatLakesKia.com for details.
Rise and shine, jabronis.
What a show this morning.
There's only one place where Buckeye legends lay the smackdown. Morning Juice with Bobby and Beamer.
Weekday mornings starting at 6.
Give me a juice box, Biatch.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Common Man and T-Bone here for Hollywood Casino Columbus. Hey, Bone, did you know the sports book is now called ESPN Bet?
I did, and you can watch your favorite teams on the biggest screens, place your bets, and grab some wings with an ice-cold pint.
Maybe you're too boring and don't want to go to the casino. Good news. You can keep the action going and place your bets on the go with the ESPN Bet app.
The ESPN Bet Sportsbook is your 50-yard line ticket to odds, point spreads, and over-unders.
It's the place to be. Losers must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
I'm Leslie from Pella Columbus.
And I'm Wilson from that other window place.
At Pella, we're really proud of our hideaway hardware technology.
Oh, yeah, that's the super duper fancy stuff where the handles fold all sleek like into the windows.
That's right. Do you guys have hideaway hardware at your window place, Wilson?
Do we have hideaway hardware? Oh, no, we don't.
Get the window that Columbus homeowners rated #1 for improving the look of their homes at PellaColumbus.com.
Attention, small business or sole proprietors. Do you want to save money on health care for your business? Be able to cover your employees with the best dental, doctors, and hospitals? Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter for the SACA Benefit Plan. Nearly 100,000 members strong in the state of Ohio. The SACA Benefit Plan is administered by Anthem and could be right for you. Small businesses, visit 844-MEDOhio.com. That's medohio.com. The SACA Benefit Plan could be right for you. Visit 844-MEDOhio.com.
We've seen it before. Politicians and lobbyists playing games, drawing voting maps to keep power in their hands, not ours. Courts have ruled Ohio's voting districts unconstitutional 7 times, while our communities have been left out again and again. But this November, you have a chance to change that with Issue 1. Issue 1 will make it illegal for politicians to manipulate voting districts for themselves or their own party. Instead, it creates an open, transparent process where a diverse group of citizens, not politicians, will draw the lines. No more backroom deals, no more gerrymandering, just fairer maps that represent our communities. Issue 1 gives you and me the power to ensure everyone's vote counts. This is about real change, a chance to end the games and make our voices heard. So vote yes on Issue 1, fair representation, and power to the people. Paid for by citizens, not politicians.
Common Man and T-Bone is sponsored by the Hinderer Motor Company. We love what moves you. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Does excessive amounts of Prozac make your sack droop down to your knees? Asking for a friend. My friend's name is Mike. Back to Droopy Sack and T-Bone.
No droopy sack, just T-Bone. Tito's here, though, so I mean, I'm not going to ask.
It's not too soon.
I'm not going to ask, but yeah, that's right. It is a Wildcard Wednesday. Plenty of those. Annie Hockhausen has one for us. She says, my guys, if you could have the same jobs as radio hosts together, but were forced to live in a different city anywhere in the world, where would it be? Right, Tito, let's pretend you and I are doing the show regularly. Mm-hmm. We have to live in a different city anywhere in the world. We would have to negotiate this together.
Right.
One, would you go out of the country or would you stay in the U.S.?
I tell you, after that fat guy food tip, I think I would probably go to Sweden. I think we just do the BK right there.
I'm not a fan of cold weather. However, I have become a fan of having I could absolutely see being up there in total darkness all the time and then having some total light all day.
Sure.
I think that would just so break up the year where it would be like, oh my gosh, it's the month or the few weeks where we're just in total sunlight. So yeah, you know what? I think Sweden's a good one.
I did love Oregon when I was out there,
dude. Oh
Oregon
yeah, how was your trip out there?
It was great. Had a great time. Great time. Yeah, we
talked a little bit yesterday on the show when you were doing the Buckeye show.
Yeah.
But you enjoyed
Misery. Hiked the thing called Misery, which was great.
What is that?
It's a mountain out there that I.
Oh, you hiked a mountain?
Yeah, I guess it's called a mountain. It's not a rock. It's not a hill.
How tall was it?
Pretty tall.
Okay, it's pretty steep.
Yeah, about yay tall. I'm gonna say
it's tall.
Listen, my wife knows all that stuff because she did all the research. All I did was try not to pass out,
and
I didn't. I did it. A lot of breaks.
Yeah, you got to take breaks.
I did it though, yes, and it was it's something I didn't think I'd be able to do, but yeah, it took a lot of breaks walking up that there mountain over there. So yes,
we went to Seattle. This is my first time going to the Pacific Northwest a couple summers ago, and yeah, I mean the city part of Seattle, Portland, anywhere out there, it's a city, right?
Yeah.
But even being in those cities. Like in Seattle, if it's a sunny, clear day like it is today, you look south and you just see a giant mountain.
Right.
It's not like, oh, they're off the horizon. You see that little bump? It's like, no, picture someone took a gigantic photo of a mountain and then plastered it in your car's window.
Sure.
That's what you're looking at. Now it's 2 hours away. It's Mount Rainier. And if it ever blows its top, you're probably screwed.
Right.
But I could get you, and I think in Portland, right? There's mountains around there too. All those mountains are all kind of connected or whatever.
All the history of when you see the volcanic, the reason it comes out like that way. We saw the largest a lake in North America that goes 2,000 feet deep, and nothing feeds into it. It's it's like
Crater Lake.
Yeah, it's all from rain and snow and whatnot.
It's an old volcano.
My wife wants to move there for reasons like I want to go hiking, I want to do this, I want to be environment. I want to go there because sports start earlier. That's my reason. My lazy reasons. I want to be able to watch Monday Night Football at 5:00.
Dude, when we went there, it was middle of summer, and I'm a Mets fan, so I get the little update on my phone the game has started,
right?
And it would be it felt like we almost finished lunch,
right? Yeah,
and we're walking around, walking off lunch, and then all of a sudden it's the Mets game has started, and I'd look at the time, and it's oh yeah, it's 4:30. That's
right.
That is when it would start, and then on we'd go.
Yep.
It's what a great vibe. I'm with you on that. I would be out there for that. All right, so we picked Pacific Northwest. I'm glad we settled on that. Let's see. What else do we have? I have got, this is from Derek, who says, my guys, Wildcard Wednesday, in honor of LeBron and Bronny making NBA history last night, what sport or activity would you and your kids dominate as teammates? Well, most of my kids none of them are very old. As far as I don't have any grown adults that could be
right.
I don't have a 6'5" lineman waiting there to help me with something. So we have my oldest is 5 feet tall.
Okay.
But it's not basketball.
Right.
It's not really going to be any sport like
Pickleball?
soccer.
Not getting started on
You know
pickleball.
what? I think no, but I was going to say we probably could do something like badminton. We'd probably give that a whirl. That'd probably be what we'd have to do. Something like that.
Whatever it is, my son would have to carry me. He's 8 years old, and obviously I'm not 8 years old. And whatever, it can involve a lot of running. Is cursing a sport? Because he curses like a sailor too.
That's good. Is an 8-year-old?
Yeah. Oh,
That's
yeah. He's good at it. Yeah. He's taught me a couple of words.
Oh, I like that. That's fantastic. Do you like to play golf? Right.
I like to play golf. I don't play well, but I like to play golf. Yes.
Okay. Have you gotten him into golf at all?
He's played a couple of times. Yeah, it doesn't have the patience for it yet.
Well, that's what you probably just need to work with then. It's just getting him to be the best golfer, and then you can like ride his coattails. There's time for him to become that. That could be a possibility. All right. This is a story that I saw today, Tito, and I am frustrated. You worked in journalism. Mm-hmm. You actually have a journalist background. And I'm not saying it's a prestigious, great.
There's no awards hanging up anywhere. I was never like SNP regional writer of the quarter. Nothing like that. No.
Panthers quarterback, former Bengal, Andy Dalton, sadly involved in a car accident yesterday in Charlotte. This is the part of the story where I'll just give you the details, and then we'll get to the journalistic part in a second. His wife, their 3 children, their dog, traveling west on Sardis Road, near Providence Road in Charlotte. I guess if you live there, you know where that is.
Okay.
And it says, no one in the vehicle was transported by emergency medical personnel to the hospital, according to a team spokesman. However, Dalton was being evaluated by team medical personnel. So I guess they're just double checking to make sure he's all right for going forward. But no further information was given. Doesn't sound like, though, it sounds like everybody in the vehicle was, like, the kids are okay, the wife's okay, the dog is okay. Here's a part of the journalism that I need your help on. Because it says here, this accident occurred around 7 miles from Bank of America Stadium. And so when I first hear that, I think, well, I wonder why they were all by the stadium. That seems, was there like a team, like a family day or a team photo thing with the wife and kids there? And then I realized 7 miles isn't anywhere close to their stadium. Why would they put this detail in there? For example, I looked it up. From Ohio Stadium to downtown, like Old Worthington, like High Street and 161, that is 6 miles, not 7. Right. So like where this happened is further than that from the stadium. Why would they randomly put in there? It also happened 4 miles from Charlotte Motor Speedway, or like what? It's like, there's other stuff there. Why would they pick that? That's so weird.
Is there an author on it, or was it AI generated? You know what I mean? Because
it does say David Newton, ESPN.com.
He's an idiot then. Yeah, that's a dumb thing to put. There's no reason to have that in there. There's no context for that whatsoever.
Yeah, because I thought, maybe they were right by the stadium.
Even
and
if
that
they're
would be
right by the stadium, it doesn't matter because your family's with you. It's not like your family's there at practice with you. Then all of a sudden, like, hey, we got to go. Let's go. You know, it's not like there's no reason for you and your family to be near there on a Wednesday or Tuesday, whatever day it was. No reason for Tuesday, I guess. There's no reason for your whole family to be 0.2 miles from the stadium.
No, like our radio station is near the main post office, right downtown, very close to downtown. If I got into a car accident, they were like, T-Bone was involved in an accident 13 miles from the fan studios. Yes. Like, well, what does that mean?
4 miles from his house. Right.
Who cares?
It doesn't make any sense.
I'm also on the level of annoyance with when it comes to like an asteroid or a meteor. Like a meteor, I guess, would have like traveled through the earth and landed somewhere in the ocean. And they're like, this meteor was the size of 3 school buses. What? Why? Yeah. Just tell me, you know how long a school bus is. You had to divide to make that analogy. Just tell me how many feet it is. Just say it's like 60 feet long or 80.
Yeah, just something like that, right. Because I can't think of 3 school buses. Now I'm trying to do the math in my head. How long's a school bus? Are they all the same size?
Yeah, give me the numbers, and then I can come up with my own, like, it's like 8 billion kumquats then. Great. Now I know. Thank you. I can pick up my own unit of measurement. So dumb. On Campus is next. All the news and notes you need. We'll get that for you. It's Man and Bone on the Fan.
Fan Traffic.
Sponsored by Meister's Bar and Pizza, home of the Grandview Browns backers.
You should know that northbound 270's off-ramp to westbound I-70 on the West Outer Belt is currently closed due to an accident, so seek an alternate exit. And we have a 5-minute delay due to an accident that's blocking the right lane on eastbound 270 on the North Outer Belt after 23. Traffic is stop and go there from 3:15. This report is sponsored by Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Valvoline Instant Oil Change wants you to breathe out your oil anxiety and breathe in automotive peace. Visit them today. I'm Nicole for 97.1 The Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by Roosters. Roosters is giving away 12 ultimate Buckeye experiences. We're talking tickets, sideline passes, a trip to a postseason game, and more. Register today and every day at roosterswings.com.
It's a crisis. Kamala Harris and Joe Biden opened our border, and Democrats helped them. Liberals have destroyed the work President Trump accomplished to build the wall and secure the border.
Sherrod Brown is a radical left politician who has played politics for 50 years, making a career of selling you out. He's for broken borders and illegal migrants pouring into your cities and towns.
Kamala and Brown have made Ohio less safe. Nearly 500,000 criminal illegal immigrants have been released into America and our neighborhoods, including 13,000 convicted murderers and untold amounts of drugs.
Bernie Moreno will stop it. He's going to secure our border. You got to go out and back Bernie Moreno. I've known him so long. An outsider, businessman who will fight for you. He's going to work with me. We're going to make America greater than ever before.
I'm Bernie Moreno, candidate for Senate, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Bernie Moreno for Senate and NRSC.
Hello, I am a serious announcer hired to deliver a serious announcement. Get an Apex Pros winter tune-up for your furnace right now for only $29. Notice we are simply giving you the facts. Just $29 to make sure your furnace is ready for the upcoming Ohio winter. We know how you enjoy our usual fun and funny commercials. Hello? Beg pardon? Well, I see no reason to bring my mother into this. Good day to you, sir. Where was I? Oh, yes. A $29 tune-up will make sure your furnace runs safely and warmly all winter. That's serious. I'm serious. That's why we're not doing the usual that you've come to expect from Apex Pros. None of this or this nonsense. $29 for a furnace tune-up from Apex Pros. The pros who knows? Knows? Is that really how you say it? The pros who...
Apex Pros, the official plumber of the Columbus Blue Jackets. ApexPros.com.
Can't make it to the game? Watch the Fan's pre- and post-game shows live on YouTube. Just search 971 The Fan and click subscribe.
The Fan's YouTube channel is sponsored by Coors Light.
Your home of the Buckeyes. The Fan.
Trust and Will knows that you're likely celebrating a loved one's birthday this month because fall is the most popular birthday season in America. And Trust and Will celebrates by protecting what matters most. Trust and Will makes estate planning easy and affordable, designed by attorneys but customized by you. Visit trustandwill.com with offer code Columbus for 10% off. That's trustandwill.com, offer code Columbus. Trust and Will is an online service providing legal forms and information. It is not a law firm and is not a substitute for the advice of an attorney.
If you're struggling with ED or your performance is down and your belly fat is growing, listen up. You've got one life. Now is the time to act.
At the Columbus Men's Clinic, we're not just healthcare, we're your secret weapon. Don't wait another day. Here's why you need to act right now.
Every moment you delay, your condition could worsen. It's not just about sex, it's about your heart, your relationship, your life.
The Columbus Men's Clinic has over 10 years of proven results for low testosterone and increasing drive, energy level, and performance. We've introduced ED and enhancement treatments so exclusive, you'll wonder why you waited.
Procrastination is the thief of time. When it comes to your sexual health, you can't afford to wait. Join the League of Gentlemen who've walked out of our doors with a swagger.
Call the Columbus Men's Clinic at 614-300-7400 or visit columbusmensclinic.com. Book your $99 male performance consultation now, including blood work. Call 614-300-7400 or visit columbusmensclinic.com. The Columbus Men's Clinic, making it happen.
Hey, it's Anthony. If you want to make the best deal in town on a new Honda, make sure you visit my friends at Your Main Honda of Dublin. They're on Sawmill Road, just south of 270. And Rich tells me you're going to get 1.90% APR up to 60 months on most new 24s and 25 Hondas. They'll give you the details. Of course, you'll get same-day service, no appointment needed. And how about an extra $1,000 for your trade if you have a 2014 or newer vehicle? All with the great people at Your Main Honda of Dublin.
Want to know anything about the Fans contest, how to win, or what's up for grabs? Check out 971thefan.com. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
If Biggie Size was a radio show, this would be it. This is Common Man and T-Bone.
Tito is in. Timmy Hall. Timmy Hall is not in today. Panama Ted is in. I am T-Bone. I am always here, except when I'm not. We have got On Campus coming up in mere moments. Don't forget, tonight, packed show for you. We have got Ryan Baker coming in to do Buckeye show along with DeVere Posey. And the two of them are going to have a nice guest. Mike Doss is going to join the program at 6:33, so I am told. 1 hour Buckeye show. Then it's Inside Edge, so you will have tons of Jackets talk there for an hour. And then after that, a little thing Timmy Hall likes to call We'll See, which I'm sure will be great, whatever it is.
Awesome, yes. We're winning.
Or is it on the money? Is that what's on after?
I don't know if
is
on the money.
Tonight? Is that after Inside Edge? I can't remember.
Yeah, you have Inside Edge. You have On the Money.
On the Money, that's right.
You have Browns Preview.
Browns Preview, of course.
Yes.
Yes, all that is coming up. And then
you'll see after that.
And then after that, you'll see. Yeah. And right now, it's Wildcard Wednesday. But first, we got to go on campus, so let's do that.
Common Man and T-Bones. On campus, the latest college sports news and notes.
Sponsored by Reverse Aesthetics. Does it jiggle or shake? Schedule your medical weight loss consultation today at reverse-aesthetics.com.
Does more than that. Tito, what's going on?
So Missouri's leading rusher, Nate Noel, he is the 21st ranked Tigers. He's got 503 rushing yards this year, averaging just under 6 yards a carry. He's going to miss the game with Alabama on Saturday. Bama needs to get right. They are, if they're not already eliminated, they're one loss away from being eliminated from the CFP. But he's got a foot injury. He is not practicing at all this week. They have a bye week November 2nd. He's a transfer from App State, by the way. But so he will try to come back after the bye week on November 2nd, see where they're at there. But he got hurt against Auburn last week. So big blow for Missouri there. There's so many crazy scenarios with this, with the SEC and the Big Ten. We could have like these crazy 4 and 5 and 16 ties.
Oh yeah,
which they're gonna have to figure out how to break without the conferences being, the divisions being around anymore. I don't want the chaos, but I kind of want the chaos.
I mean, that's what we seem to like about March Madness, right? Is the chaos.
Yeah,
but listen, I'm with you that I think 12 was too many. They should have stuck at 8. And then I don't think you're going to see a lot of 12, like the 12th or 11th or 10th team in. I don't think you're going to see them making run to the title game. But people want to see this chaos. They want to have these arguments. We just have different arguments now. Instead of, now we're not arguing over Ohio State and Georgia and Penn State, fighting for a spot. We're going to be arguing over, Indiana's or, teams like that are close, but should BYU get in, whatever, that kind of stuff.
I'm not opposed to the 12-team playoff. I'm opposed to just having like an 18-team conference where everyone's not going to play each other. And so you can have a situation where there's like 5 or 6 teams tied, and you've got to go like to like the 9th level of tiebreaker, where it might be whichever school has the most seats or something like that. Some weird thing out there.
Did your fans throw beer cans onto the field? And it's like, all right, then we'll let you, or we won't let you in, whatever way it goes. Yeah.
Well, they'll say no, and then they'll let them in after that.
Right.
After the beer cans hit the field.
Yeah.
Travis Hunter from Colorado, one of the Heisman Trophy candidates, he is expected to play this week against Cincinnati. He missed the second half of their win over Arizona, 34-7. He originally got hurt in a 31-28 loss to Kansas State. He missed most of the second half in that one, but it looks like he's going to play this week. And Sanders thinks he'll have a bigger role than he's had the last couple weeks. And so the Buffaloes, who are, I think they're 5-2 now, they're also in the mix for the Big 12 championship. They are 5-point favorites in that game.
All right. Yeah, I'm a fan of watching Travis Hunter play football. I'm glad when he gets to be on the field because I do think that's an interesting story.
Sure.
I also do understand totally the people who say, I am annoyed by Deion Sanders, and I don't like the fact that if he's good, then that means Deion Sanders is – I get it if you're annoyed by him.
He's been quieter lately.
He has been. I think so. I think, I think college football –
I like Deion, too.
Well, I do, too. I've always liked I don't mind him saying who he is, saying what he does, and then backing it up on the field.
Yeah.
I do think when at times people are questioning maybe something about you, and then you say that guy's not allowed to ask questions anymore at the press conference.
Yeah, that's
the part that I'm not a fan of.
Yep.
By the way, on the on-campus front, I saw this, and this is from the burner phone from an anonymous texter, but it is a wild card, so we'll throw it in on Wildcard Wednesday. This is what the texter says. The Army-Navy game is usually a neutral site game. What if Ohio State offered to host it in the shoe? Interesting thought. I will tell you this. I don't break a lot of news, and I'm not breaking any news here, but I can tell you that I have talked to people who would have at least some insight into the goings-on of this city, and they have told me that there is at least some interest from parties here, not like me and Tito, from people who could actually get this done.
Make it happen, right.
To try to woo that committee, whoever makes that decision with Army-Navy, to have that game here. And I guess from what I understand, part of the allure for Army Navy, for the organizers of that, for the military, is Veterans Memorial.
Oh.
That the idea that they could highlight that by having that game here. Nothing's done on that, but I find it interesting that someone's asking that question because I have never brought this up on the air, but that is something I have been told is an interest to this city. And there are people here who would like to see that happen.
And now it's winterized.
It has to be.
Right, because of the hockey game, because of the...
We got the hockey game, you got
also
college football
CFP
playoffs
games,
happening.
so it should be, yes.
I mean, it should be
That'd
something.
Be amazing.
Could you imagine?
Oh.
I'm telling you, that'd be one of the biggest sporting events the city's ever had.
It would be.
Not because we haven't had more important, like whatever. It's just Army Navy being played somewhere else and being playing here.
Here, yes.
Would be an incredible thing.
Yep.
So I'm not the biggest Army Navy viewer when it comes to that game, but I would tune in. I would go to that game if I could. I think that'd be a very special thing. May have found a billionaire sports owner that I actually agree with. I usually don't agree with any of them, but I do agree with this guy on one thing. We'll talk about that next and more Wildcard Wednesday right here on The Fan.
Fan Traffic.
Sponsored by Meister's Bar and Pizza, home of the Grandview Browns backers.
Traffic is stop and go and causing a 5-minute delay on northbound 270 on the west outer belt from West Broad Street to I-70. And you're looking at a 25-minute delay due to an accident that's blocking the left lane if you're on eastbound 70 on the east side at 270. This report is sponsored by Ohio Basement Authority, your local expert. Are your floors sagging? Are musty smells reeking throughout your home? Contact Ohio Basement Authority, the crawl space repair experts. Get your free inspection today. Learn more at ohiobasementauthority.com. I'm Nicole for 97.1 The Fan Traffic.
Dormar, your pilot hero.
Dormar can be there today, guaranteed. Visit them at dormarhvac.com.
This year's starting lineup at Honda Marysville is as strong as ever, so come see us.
Choose from Ohio's largest selection of Hondas and get 0% for 60 on any new CRV, HRV, Passport Pilot, or Ridgeline with the trade.
Honda's built here, Honda's sold here. Honda Marysville. We're closer than you think.
0% with approved credit and 80% of MSRP financed. 2010 or newer trade with KBB appraisal at $2,500 or more. Must take delivery from dealer stock 10/31/24.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. And when it comes to fall, we often think of those cooler temperatures, the trees changing colors, the bonfires in the evening, and of course, football season. We less often think of those home projects that we've been neglecting or failed to finish up before those harsh Ohio winter hits. If you need to have your roof inspected or it's on your to-do list, you can ensure that Newman Roofing will get you ready for those harsh winter storms. The team over at Newman has you covered, and they're family-owned and locally operated right here in Central Ohio since 1992. The 3 generations that have been in the roofing industry, they have the expertise to handle any issue you may be facing with your roof. Folks, they took care of my roof. They did a fantastic job. They're the experts, and they will give you the white glove treatment because when your name is on it, it just means more. So if you need your roof repaired or replaced this fall, call the company you can trust. That's Newman Roofing at newmanroofing.com or 614-NEW-ROOF.
From the mind of a 2-foot-tall talking spokes puppet comes this year's biggest challenge. It's time for Bob's Dare to Compare, the hottest game show on TV that asks, what happens when you compare Bob's to the competition? You get style. You get quality. You get beeps and boops and dings and whomps. And thousands of dollars in savings. Everyone's a winner when you dare to compare with Bob's Discount Furniture. Shop in store or at mybobs.com to play now.
Common Man here. I've told you about my friends at Sell for 1% Realtors. I am back to remind you that if you're thinking about selling your home, it should not cost you 6% to do it. Their premise is almost too good to be true. They sell your home for 1% commission, not 6%. That's it. I had to check it out for myself, see if it was legit. I met with the family-run business here in Central Ohio. They will give you everything you expect from any realtor for a whole lot less. This is full service, not discount. They literally do everything that a realtor who charges you 6% is going to do, and probably more. They can do it because they use today's technology, which has made the realtor's job easier, taking photos, signing documents on your phone. And instead of keeping their prices the same like everybody else does, they pass the savings on to you because they know you're going to be happy with the service. Tell a friend, they get more business. Oh, what a novel concept. If I knew about these guys 10 years ago, I would have saved a boatload of money. On average, customers save about $10,000 in commissions. If you're selling, give my guys a call. 614-451-6616. Sellfor1%.com.
Hey, Buckeye fans. As the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics, Roosters is kicking off an incredible giveaway you won't want to miss. This football season, we're giving away 12 ultimate Buckeye experiences. 3 drawings, 12 winners with prizes including tickets, sideline passes, and 2 trips to a Buckeye postseason game. Go to roosterswings.com to register and see all the details. 3 drawings, 12 amazing prizes. Register today and every day. Roosters, a fun, casual joint.
Bobcat Enterprises in Hilliard is celebrating 20 years of working for you. Join us Friday, October 25th from 10 to 2 at 3666 Lakin Road for our 20th anniversary event. For one day only, enjoy 20% savings on select rentals, and the first 20 guests receive a door prize. Enter to win special edition Bobcat Enterprises fleece hoodies and enjoy delicious food and fun. Bobcat Enterprises is locally owned and proud to have served our friends and neighbors in the Columbus area for 20 years. See you Friday, October 25th at Bobcat Enterprises in Hilliard.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good afternoon. I'm Paul Keels. It was pretty much expected, but the Cleveland Browns announcing today that Jameis Winston will start at quarterback this weekend against Baltimore, taking over for the injured Deshaun Watson. Meanwhile, head coach Kevin Stefanski says he's turning the play calling over to offensive coordinator Ken Dorsey. The Seattle Seahawks dealt linebacker Jerome Baker and a 4th-round pick to Tennessee for linebacker Ernest Jones today. Carolina Panthers are returning Bryce Young to the starting quarterback position this weekend against Denver in place of Andy Dalton, who suffered a thumb injury in an automobile accident. Young started the first 2 games for the Panthers before being replaced by Dalton. And the Cleveland Cavaliers make their NBA regular season debut tonight, playing in Toronto against the Raptors. This update brought to you by Valley Ford of Columbus. Bronco, Explorer, Mustang, Mach-E, and more. Ride into autumn with Valley Ford of Columbus. Breaking sports news when it happens on The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
The only thing scarier than Bones analogies is man's browser history.
I'm sorry, man. I thought you want to see this.
This is Common Man and T-Bone.
It is our favorite day of the week, Wildcard Wednesday. Jeff Thidoff, Tito is in for Common Man today. Panama Ted is in.
Hey, it's my dad's birthday today.
Oh, is it your dad's birthday?
My dad's birthday.
Happy birthday to your dad. How old is your dad?
That's a good question.
What?
No,
what does that mean?
We had this conversation before. Like, do you know the age of both your parents?
Yeah.
You know their age?
Yeah.
Ted, do you know yours?
I mean, I have to do math really quick, but my mom just turned 69. So my dad is 67, 66.
You didn't say that.
60,
yeah, exactly.
66.
But you weren't
66.
confident.
No, I just had to do math because he's 66. I know what years they were born in. I'm aware.
I understand. I'm just saying. My dad, I actually take it back. I do know now he's 78.
Okay. Is that official or you just make up a number?
He's 78.
Okay. Because you know what year he's born and you did the math?
Because he texted me a picture of his driver's license, and I had to set something up for him online to go get his license renewed.
So you remember the year, like
46,
I said.
yes.
Okay, so there you go.
But I don't know how old my mom is. I'm not sure. She's 70-something.
My mom, she used to not know her own age when we were kids because my dad was famous for saying, oh, yeah, mom's turning, 35 or 40 or whatever. And she would say, I am not. I'm only turning 30. He would mess with her to make her feel older.
Right.
And
That's always
so
fun.
We then, as kids, thought this was brilliant. So we would also do that. So I remember distinctly my mom coming out of a doctor's office. We had been sitting in the waiting room. She went back. We just sat there, waiting, occupying ourselves. She comes back out and she's just like, let's go. And I'm like, okay. And we get out to the car and she's like, boys, I need you to stop making jokes about what my age is because I was in the doctor's office and the doctor said, so what are you, 39? She goes, I think I'm 40. And he's like, you're born at 55. So we had confused this poor woman so much that and again, as a kid, I was like, how could that even happen? My birthday, I was obsessed with. I knew how many months we had until I knew everything.
Jimmy JB on the chat just said, too, his grandparents, well, just paraphrase, had relations on Valentine's Day.
What does that? What do you mean?
My dad's October 23rd. Go back.
Oh,
so it was around that time.
Sure. That could be. Yeah, I mean, well,
yeah, probably. Yeah.
Were you born a little early? Because it'd probably be
my
8.5.
Dad was born early. Yeah, 8.5. I don't know.
Or your dad, right?
Not my dad, not me.
Yeah. So, yeah, well, you know what? I don't know if you know this, Tito. That's how it happens.
I don't need that.
What do you mean you don't need
I don't need that visual.
Well, it's not a guarantee they did it on Valentine's Day. Have you never thought about that with birthdays? Like, how many people, do you know any people born in August? I know a lot of people born in August, including yours truly, including our producer, Ted. And guess what that means? Eight-ish months ago, they were probably sometime between Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Yep.
All the holiday stuff. There's holiday parties. You have a moment. You have a party. You come home. You're like, hey, look at you. Hey.
More than the turkey got.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm saying that we're
That's
all probably
true. No,
holiday Yuletide joy.
I'm probably April Fool's Day. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Oh, you're a fool.
Thank you.
There we go. That's right. No, you know what? I'm going to say this.
No hole.
You're not a hole. That's what I'm going to say today. My guy. Good stuff today. So we have a billionaire sports owner that I actually kind of agree with. Now, usually our former traffic girl, Leanna Ray, would always say, eat the rich. And I usually agree with that.
That's completely wrong.
Twice today for Leanna. Anyway, but this guy, I could deal with this if this is how he's going to roll. Joe Mansueto is the owner of the Chicago Fire soccer team in MLS. He is worth personally $7.1 billion. Let him live. He has a soccer team that currently plays in Soldier Field. Bad. The team has been bad, but the field is, you don't want to play there. It holds what does Soldier Field hold? 60, 70,000
about 60
people?
or 70 probably in there, yes.
Yeah, and if an MLS team draws 30,000 people, that's really good. It would look pathetic in that place. So he wants a smaller stadium that kind of fits their audience and makes it a little bit more intimate, a little more intimidating for a team to come in and play. But here's the problem. Most times when you want a stadium built, you have to ask the city, the county, the state for land, for money, for tax abatements, or just straight up cash to build the thing. Here's what he said. My personal view is that stadiums are not a great investment. They're big, costly to maintain, sit empty most of the time. So the extent that they create value, most of that accrues to the sports team, not the municipality. So to me, it's fair that the sports team should own the stadium. Moreover, here in Illinois, in the city of Chicago, our finances are strained. Teachers want more money. Law enforcement needs more money. Pension obligations. Our city and state don't have the funds to be candid. So to me, if we build it, we will privately finance it. So he said they'd like to do a smaller venue that connects them with their fan base. They think it would be a good element to re-energize the club. But he's saying, I'm not asking for money. I'm just going to fund it myself. I've got $7.1 billion.
Right.
My team's value will go up with this stadium.
No doubt.
I will then own that team and that stadium, so my value goes up. And eventually, whenever that gets sold, I make money off of it. He's not wrong.
Look, I love it when an owner does something like this. It doesn't happen enough. But because too many times, well, you're going to pay for most of it or I'm moving the team. And I hate that when they do that, when they hold the team hostage in that way. The fact an owner recognizes this and is willing to put up his own money, like you say, $7 billion.
He is a billionaire, like a real billionaire, not like someone who's like, well, my dad made this team and then I was born. And if I sell this team, I'm worth $1.5 billion. It's like, no, this is a real billionaire.
Yes. I love the fact he's willing to do that. Now, have you made the trip to many MLS stadiums? Have you done that yet? Do you have any desire to do that?
I actually have been to a decent number. I went to the old Fire Stadium where they played in Bridgeview, which is not really close to downtown Chicago. That's why they wanted to be back in Soldier Field. But I went to that place and it was very similar to old Crew Stadium, as far as that type of layout, very simple kind of thing. I've been there. I have been to Seattle Stadium, but not to see the Sounders. I saw the women's team play there. They're Megan Rapinoe's team. They play there. Alex Morgan, I want to say, was on that team too. Anyway, we saw them when we were in Seattle a couple years ago, which, of course, that's where the Seahawks play. So that's kind of cheating. I have been to New York Stadium, the Red Bulls, who the Crew are playing in the playoffs. They have a stadium in Harrison, New Jersey, which is near nothing.
That's where all the New York teams play. They're all playing New Jersey.
Yeah, it's one of those beautiful situations where to get there, we were staying in New York City, and when we told people in the subway, we're like, hey, we're trying to catch the PATH train to Harrison, New Jersey. It was just like, why? Why are you doing that? We're like, well, because we're going to the Red Bulls game. They're like, oh, God, no, you don't want to go out there. And it's like, well, we do. And we went.
The gym?
Oh, yeah.
By far?
I mean, I haven't been to every stadium.
Right, but the ones you've been to, though.
But of the ones I've been to, the New York Stadium it had a futuristic fabric stretched over it that kind of looked cool, but it was next to a bunch of just warehouses. It didn't have anything around it. Yeah. I've probably been to one or two others that I'm blanking on. I mean, I saw DC United play in RFK.
Okay.
That's the only time I went to RFK, and I saw their supporter section, Barra Brava. They have like their supporter section near the field. They were jumping up and down, and you could see like the rafters were shaking.
Isn't that amazing?
It was
right.
Oh, this is not good. But I remember being floored because we were walking around the concourse. They actually had Yingling.
Right.
Because it's, in D.C., they have it there. And so me and my brother and I went there, and we watched the Houston Dynamo play D.C. United. No, it wasn't for a crew game. We were just
like
there. We were like
Ohio State player in there. It wasn't like, Maradona wasn't playing. It was just
same
that
day.
yes.
We went to go see the Phillies play.
Yeah.
The Phillies. We're watching to see the Nationals play in their ballpark. We literally bought a ticket, walked around. It was like $8 to get in. Sure. Walked around, had a ballpark dog. I think they played one inning, and we were like, all right, we got to go to the soccer game.
Right.
So we hit two stadiums in one day.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, but you just got to have the ballpark day. It was very good.
Yep.
But, yeah, I don't know. You go to any MLS stadiums, Tito?
I've been to the Crew Stadium. I covered the Crew at Ohio Stadium.
You did. That's right.
With Tim May. I was covering the Tampa Tribune. He was covering for the Dispatch. I don't think I ever covered a soccer game. Hey, Tito, what are we going to do if it's a 0-0 game? What do they call it? Nil-nil? What are we going to do? What are we going to write about? The whole game is like that. And sure enough, a 0-0 game between the Mutiny and the Crew. And I had to go and figure out how to write a 15-inch story on a 0-0 game.
That's right. Yeah, you got to do it. You got to get it. Well, I mean, but you got to, how many times were they offside? How many close calls did they have? How many corner kicks were they?
How about that one save?
How about Carlos Valderrama?
Right. Huh? I don't think Valderrama was there.
I think he might have been. Tampa Bay. Was it Tampa Bay?
Then I must have missed out on the story if he was there. Yeah, it was a mutiny. But apparently I didn't do enough show prep on that one either.
Maybe not. But in either case, yeah, I would love to have gone. I want to go with Tim May to a soccer game now.
Oh, it's the best, man. It just the comments throughout. Because always, hey, Tito, Double scored that one. Did you write that one down? Who was that? What number was that? Was that Uno or was that Diez?
Yeah, he doesn't, it's not his thing. No, I understand. He actually came up to me the other day and he's like, hey, I heard you're in Birmingham. How was that? Did you enjoy that? That's where I grew up. You're like, not far from there in Alabama. And so he's like, what were you doing there? And I was like, I went to a music festival, and I was like, it's at the Furnaces, the Sloss Furnaces. He's like, I don't know what that is. And I'm like, well, I thought you were from there. Isn't it like a historic thing? He's like, I don't know. Never been there. Well, you got to go. How do I know more about Alabama than him?
He's like the Harry Carey character that Will Ferrell did.
Hey, if Jeff Snook was a hot dog, would you eat it?
Right, yeah, something like that.
Caitlin Clark may have a lucrative new side hustle apart from her day job. I'll explain next. It's Man and Bone on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
Sponsored by Meister's Bar and Pizza, home of the Grandview Browns backers.
You're looking at a 10-minute delay on southbound 270 on the West Outer Belt between Cemetery Road and I-70. And we have a couple minutes slowdown on northbound 71 on the north side between North Broadway and Cook Road. This report is sponsored by Z-Bart. Tough roads demand tougher protection. Shield your vehicle's underside with genuine Z-Bart undercoating from $2.99 and fortify your truck bed against scratches, impacts, and dents with Rhino Lining Spray-On Bed Liner, starting at $4.99. Z-Bart, your vehicle's best defense. I'm Nicole for 97.1 The Fan Traffic.
Care Heating and Cooling. When you need a company you can trust, call 1-800-COOLING.
Hey, Bobby Carpenter here for my friends at Affinity Whole Health. Affinity is the leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy, but they are also much more than that. They help men and women who are experiencing things like low energy, low libido, muscle loss, and weight gain. Turn it all around. You can feel amazing and live better just like I can. It can be delivered right to your door, which is tremendous. Semaglutide for weight loss and testosterone and hormone replacement therapy for so much more. I've been a customer for years and it works. Get started at feelgreatcolumbus.com.
Direct Auto Insurance is for uncompromisers, the people who refuse to make trade-offs in life. Like Kelly, when her old car insurance got so expensive that she couldn't afford to drive anymore, do you think she started carrying her groceries for miles? No. But she did find Direct Auto's savings that allowed her to drive instead of compromise. With savings of up to 25%, you too can stop compromising and keep driving. Get a quote today at directauto.com. Savings based on applied discounts and will vary. Terms apply. How you buy can affect price. National General Group, Winston-Salem.
Common Man here for Jermaine Lexus of Dublin and Easton. If your fall is anything like the people in my neighborhood, your weekends are full of driving kids to endless soccer things. So if you're going to be on the road, be as comfortable as possible. 4 out of 5 doctors recommend a new Lexus. That's not true, but I recommend it. Deal time, 2.99% finance rate on a 2024 RX. That's madness. 4.49% finance rate for a 2025 NX. And you can get up to $5,000 lease cash for a 2024 RX. Check them out online, GermainLexus.com.
Jeremy Foltz, CEO and co-founder of 3C Technology Solutions, speaks about working with First Bank of Central Ohio.
I think FBCO had a really nice personal touch. Transition was really easy and much cleaner than I thought it would be. Some very specific things that made me very excited to work with them are availability and creativity.
Experience what it's like to be first at First Bank of Central Ohio. Visit fbcentralohio.com for more details. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Here at The Fan, we give you 14 hours of live and local programming every day. We care about you. We live and work in your community. Except Bo Bishop. He won't tell us where the hell he is. Your live and local station. Except Bo. The Fan.
Thank you for calling Great Lakes. Great Lakes Kia.
Do you like scary movies?
Nah, they don't scare me.
What does scare you?
High car payments. They make me want to scream.
And at Great Lakes Kia?
We have brand new Kias under $5 a day. Come pick one out.
Maybe I'm already here.
Cool. Lease new 24 Kia Forte LXS, EV6 Wind, and Sorrento LX. All three under $5 a day.
That's only $139 a month for 24 months.
Plus new 24 Kia Telluride LX under $8 a day.
$249 for 24 months.
At Great Lakes Kia.
What if I have scary credit?
No problem. Get approved with 0% financing.
Perfect. And I'm right behind you.
Oh, hi.
Hello.
Great cars, great people, Great Lakes Kia.
In Columbus, GreatLakesKia.com.
Can I hang up now?
To qualified buyers, visit GreatLakesKia.com for details.
If a friend asks how you're doing, and you say,
I'm okay.
When the truth is,
I don't want my problems to burden anyone.
Or you say,
hang it in there.
Because
if I ask for help, they'll just think I'm weak.
Then this is your sign to call, text, or chat 988 for free, confidential support. Anytime. You don't have to hide how you feel.
If you recently lost health coverage due to a life change, healthcare.gov is here for you. Like it was there for Marcus when he lost his job, and Keisha when she turned 26 and lost her parents' insurance, and Elena when she went off Medicaid. There are many other ways to qualify. Visit healthcare.gov today to see if you're eligible to enroll. Limited time to enroll. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Is thinning hair or a receding hairline making you self-conscious? Try Hair Grow from New Nordic. Stop feeling embarrassed about thinning hair and start feeling your best with Hair Grow.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
A little windy out there on this Wednesday, but for the most part dry and warm. Temperatures in the mid to upper 70s, cooling down to the upper 30s by your Thursday morning with breezy conditions and a cool start. We'll see a fair amount of sunshine by Thursday afternoon, but temperatures dropping into the low 60s. With your 10 weather impact forecast, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jerry Martz on The Fan.
ESPN Bet is the official sports book of Common Man and T-Bone. On your phone or in person at Hollywood Casino Columbus. The Fan.
Dumb is the only language these two are fluent in. You're listening to Man and Bone.
Big night tonight on The Fan. We have got 1 hour of Buckeye Show. Ryan Baker, Devere Posey. They will have Mike Doss joining them as a guest at 6:33. Then it is Inside Edge. That'll be a lot of fun. Bob McKelly and Jody Shelley talking about this Jackets team, which had a big win last night against Toronto, so you can hear all about that. Then after that, 8 to 9, it is On the Money. Yep. Scotty Vegas, Dave Biddle, going to take you through that, get you caught up with some gambling action, all that and more coming up.
Most important Buckeyes in the last 25 years, say, as far as players, not coaches, because I know Tress would be up there, obviously. And I'm just saying, as far as most important players, Mike Doss has a pretty big, the fact he said, I'm coming back to win a national championship after a mediocre season.
And then they did that very thing.
Yes. Like, he's a very prominent person. I know he had a decent NFL career, but just like as far as Buckeye lore goes.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's one of the most important ones in the last 25 years.
Didn't he have was it the newspaper clipping of like when he announced he was coming back or something? And he had that like in his, I want to say he had it in his chest.
I think you're
he
right.
had some newspaper article that he kept with him either for that game or all season.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, just one of those special sports stories, right? So very cool that he's going to be on. Should be a lot of fun. Jeff Thidoff is in. Tito, as we call him as well. This is, again, it's a story that I'm sure Caitlin Clark would probably prefer to not have to deal with, is the fact of people saying, why isn't she paid more money? Because clearly she's a very valuable commodity to the WNBA.
Right.
They just had their best rating success of all time. The players just opted out of their TV contract or their collective bargaining because they said, hey, TV money's going up. Everything should be going up.
Sure.
We should be getting more money too. So they're all going to work that out this offseason. Her base salary this year was $76,000. That's the base salary that's the rookie salary.
Salary, yep.
WNBA. The highest paid players in the WNBA, I think they're getting about $250,000.
Yeah, somewhere around there, yep. Not more than that, I don't think, no.
So a league started by a few of the WNBA players, 3-on-3 league called Unrivaled. This is their kind of concept of doing 3-on-3 women's basketball, a little bit similar to what's going on with the Big Three league, except the Big Three league is probably going to feature, but does feature, a lot of guys who don't play in the league anymore.
Sure.
This Unrivaled is supposed to feature WNBA players and players who are still very good, who might play in other leagues or what have you. The WNBA season goes through the summer. The reason for that is the rest of the world's leagues typically go in the winter. And, of course, the NBA goes in the winter, too, so it's a nice offset.
Right.
But this allows a lot of women to go overseas and then get more money from those leagues, which some of them do pay a lot more than the WNBA.
Absolutely, they do, yeah.
So now the idea is, well, what if you stayed here and made that money here instead of going overseas? So apparently the startup league is going to try to do a full court press on Caitlin Clark, giving her a deal, they say, that's going to be similar to how Major League Soccer tried to woo and did woo Lionel Messi to come over and play for Inter Miami. Now, that deal, they offered him more money than any MLS team had ever offered a player.
Right.
Apple kicked in a part of the revenue from the TV deal. It was an unprecedented contract that he got. Caitlin Clark's not going to get that much money, but comparatively for what they have to offer.
$76,000 salary, yes, it's a big deal.
They are saying they're going to offer her $1 million a year to play. I think it's like 3 months that this league would be. That's a lot of money for 3 months. It's something I think is worth thinking about for her.
Sure. She's got the big Nike deal, right?
She gets $28 million over 4 years from Nike. Or is it 4 or 7? It might be a 7-year deal. Either way, she's getting millions of dollars.
$4 million or $7 million a year. She's doing pretty well with that.
She's making all kinds of money just from the Nike deal. And then she will get, obviously, she's got a ton of other endorsements. I'm sure she probably clears easily $5 to $8 million a year.
Yeah.
And that's without her WNBA money.
Right.
I don't know if she would need to do this or not. It's an interesting idea, though. If you get ownership of the league, let's say, you get all kinds of other stuff, that might be worth her time. I don't know.
But if you were Nike, or, do you want her to play in this? I know it's exposure. I get that. But it's also, though, you don't want her to get hurt there and jeopardize WNBA time, right?
I think the WNBA, this is where they need to really look at the collective bargaining and new TV money and all that. I think they probably need to talk to their TV partners and say, hey, you see Caitlin Clark over here?
Yeah.
She wants to go play, or she's considering playing in this league.
Right.
You guys need to get your money up from the executive level to the WNBA so we can pay the players more so they don't have to consider doing this. So, and they don't have to go overseas so that they can actually get paid a little bit more. Now, that's possible because you're seeing the TV interest increase because of her. And I don't think it's just because of her.
It's a big part of it, though.
Well, she shows up, and now a lot of people who never watched women's basketball are watching it. But as they watch her, then they learn about other players. They learn about rivalries. They learn about who the stars are in the WNBA.
Yeah.
And I would wager that even that WNBA final that just happened, I'm guessing the numbers for that were probably some of the better ones they've had in recent memory.
Yes.
Just because there are people who are familiar with the storylines, even though she wasn't in it.
Right.
So if I'm the WNBA, I'm trying to find a way to keep this from happening so that she makes her money in our league, not in some other league. So that's the fear I would have if I were the WNBA. I don't want to lose the cash cow that is Caitlin Clark to an injury in this unrivaled league if they don't have anything to do with it.
Yep, I agree with that.
That would not be good.
Yeah.
Also, let's see. We have more Wildcard Wednesdays here. I'm trying to find a few of them for you. This one, this is actually not from a listener, but I had to bring this up. Utah has the Utah Hockey Club, which of course just happened. The Coyotes moved. Yeah. Utah Hockey Club, or as I like to call them, Utaki, has called up a towering defenseman that they drafted in 2022. They drafted him 29th overall. His name is Maverick Lamoureux.
Traditional spelling?
It looks like Maverick, but without a K at the end.
Right, okay.
But Maverick Lamoureux.
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 Okay.
Let's say that's Lamoureux or Lamoureux, something like that.
I think it translates to Love X, but go ahead.
Sure. To each their own. He was playing the AHL. They've called him up. What makes him interesting is he is 6'7". And now that's without skates.
Right.
So this is like Zdeno Chara level dude.
Was Chara like 6'9" without skates?
I thought he was that with skates. Maybe he was. Maybe he was 6'9". You're right. But this is going to be, this is a pretty big dude they're calling up. So I kind of want to just, anytime there's someone that big on skates, I need to tune in and see it.
Oh, yeah.
Just because it's fascinating to watch a guy that big move that gracefully. You have to be such a skilled, like you almost have to be like the core strength of someone who's in ballet or something like that to play hockey. The balance that requires is insane. When you don't have a low center of gravity, I would think that makes it even more difficult. So
and you can't appreciate that until you see it in person too, by the way. Like I saw Chara play. It's like you see the difference between like those guys and how big they are and how fast they are still. Yeah. It's amazing.
Right.
Absolutely amazing.
Well, and then you figure all the gear that you wear.
Yeah.
It doesn't, they've streamlined it so it's not that heavy, but someone that big comes flying at you as fast as they can go, and then all the gear they have on adds a little bit to that too. It's just like, it looks like a fridge coming at you. That's open ice, middle of everything, and then you just get hit by that.
They look guy like that looks like somebody you create on the video game. When you're playing like a franchise type thing. Oh, this guy's gonna be 7 feet tall, 310 pounds with 4.4 speed.
Yeah, right. But that's I look forward to watching it. I don't know how successful he'll be if he's any good, but yeah, there's a big, tall, lanky dude that's going to be out there. So keep your eyes open for that. This one comes from Emma Watson's bottom half, who says, "My guys."
Because I said it was like that.
Wildcard Wednesday, do you guys ever get crap from sponsors when Common Man adds to the reads with words like losers or gives bogus promo codes that aren't real? If we do, I haven't heard about it. Again, one of his biggest things he says is peepee no worky, and from all I've ever heard, that no one has a complaint about that, so let him live.
Shark, every time he does, like on the Morning Juice one, he'll do the disclaimer about whatever gambling site that they promote, and it'll say gambling problem, and then he'll pause and go, Tito, call whatever. Like he always throws my name in the gambling problem, which I love. But
that's good. Yeah. I think that's fair, right? It's you gotta. We say these things every day. You gotta sometimes have a little fun with it. Totally understood. Also, well, you know what? We don't have time for it because we're going to talk to Jeff Rimmer. I have a story about Rex Ryan. I will save for the back page coming up 5:50.
Okay. Perfect.
It's a humdinger. Let's put it that way. I'll just leave it at that. But next, it's our guy. We're going to talk some hockey with Rims. Jeff Rimmer. Name dropping with Jeff Rimmer is next. It's Man and Bone on the Fan.
Fan Traffic.
Sponsored by Meister's Bar and Pizza, home of the Grandview Browns backers.
We've got a 20-minute delay due to an accident that's blocking the left lane if you're on eastbound 70. On the east side at 270, it is stop and go from Livingston Avenue. And we've got slower traffic on westbound 670 between 71 and Neal Avenue. This report is sponsored by Direct Auto. Direct Auto Insurance is for uncompromisers. With savings of up to 25%, you can stop compromising and keep driving. Get a free quote at directauto.com. Savings based on discounts can vary. How you buy can affect price. National General Group, Winston-Salem. I'm Nicole for 97.1 The Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by Green & Sons. Family owned and operated for over 45 years. Green & Sons will help you find your next Kubota tractor. Located in Mount Sterling and north of Marysville. And online at greenandsons.com.
Men, you already know that as we age, low testosterone can cause many issues, including decreased energy, bad sleep, a lower sex drive, and more. And if you're like most men, getting treated for low T can truly change your life. But it's also important where you get treated, because your health matters, and a quality medical practice that has true expertise in men's sexual health can help you get the best outcome. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, the leader in treating low T and other men's sexual health issues in the area. And if you're feeling like I just described and haven't yet sought treatment, or if you're not satisfied with the treatment you're currently receiving, I'd invite you to call us. At Tri-State Men's Health, our expertise is men's sexual health. It's all we do. We've successfully treated thousands of men for low T, and we offer a true 5-star experience that is like no other. If you're like most men, you'll be astounded astounded at our service and at the results of our treatments. So make an appointment today. Your initial visit is only $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on testosterone the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com.
Just how liberal is Sherrod Brown? Take a look at his actual votes. That's what Debbie from the Cleveland area did.
I thought I knew Sherrod Brown. Now I hear he's super liberal, so I went and looked at his votes. Brown voted to allow late-term partial birth abortions. It's horrific. The AMA said it should be banned, but Sherrod voted for it more than once.
In fact, Sherrod Brown voted for partial birth abortion 6 different times.
Partial birth abortion? Allowing trans biological men in girls' locker rooms and girls' sports? Sex change surgery for kids? He seemed like a good guy, but with Brown's voting record, I just can't vote for him.
Sherrod Brown has let us down. When you look at his actual votes, Sherrod Brown is just way too liberal for Ohio. Senate Leadership Fund paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. www.senateleadershipfund.org.
Join our resident gambling degenerates Dave Biddle and Scotty Vegas for On the Money, Wednesday night at 8.
Presented by ESPN Bet at Hollywood Casino Columbus.
All the action, none of the responsibility. The Fan.
Scotty Vegas for Maxima Concrete. They redid my whole driveway, but they can do so much more, like outdoor kitchens, pools, patios, you name it. Mention this ad for $250 off your next project with Maxima Concrete and visit MaximaConcrete.com.
Post Malone is teaming up with Raising Cane's to empower the next generation of artists. For a limited time, 2 exclusive double-sided Post Malone posters are available at Raising Cane's. So post up your combo at Cane's while supplies last and support a good cause. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love.
Let's face it, repairing or replacing a roof is a big decision. It's an investment in your home, your safety, and your peace of mind. But with so many roofing companies out there, how do you know which one to trust? How do you know your investment will be in good hands? Since 1992, Newman Roofing has been the family-owned company homeowners have relied on. We understand that roofing projects can be stressful. That's why we built our company around you, offering a white glove experience designed to make your roofing project as smooth and easy as possible. At Newman Roofing, we focus on the details because the details matter. Our craftsmanship, attention to quality, and commitment to service are second to none. Why? Because when your name is on it, it just means more. Your roof isn't just another project. It's our promise to deliver the very best. So, as the cooler weather approaches, don't wait. Get your Newman roof while there's still time this fall. Call us today at 614-NEW-ROOF. That's 614-NEW-ROOF, or visit us online at newmanroofing.com. Don't just get a new roof, get a Newman roof.
At Byers Volkswagen, we believe in giving you options. From browsing to buying, shop entirely online at columbusvw.com. Or, if you prefer a personal touch, visit us by the airport and work with our friendly brand specialists. Right now, you can get a new 2024 Volkswagen Tiguan, 0% for up to 60 months. Online or in person, your exceptional car buying experience awaits you at Byers Volkswagen.
Ohio, ready for some quick mental health facts? Let's go. Nearly 2 million Ohioans live with a mental health condition. In the U.S., more than 50% of people will be diagnosed with a mental illness in their lifetime. Depression is a leading cause of disability worldwide. So why are some of us still stigmatizing people living with a mental health condition when we know all of this? Let's listen to the facts and beat the stigma. Ohio, challenge what you know about mental health at beatthestigma.org.
Common Man and T-Bone is sponsored by the Hinderer Motor Company. We love what moves you. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Common Man and T-Bone's Name Drop with the biggest name dropper of them all, Jeff Remmer.
Sponsored by Byers Imports by the airport.
Every Wednesday this here time, we talk to our guy, the legendary, longtime TV voice of your Columbus Blue Jackets, now enjoying his retirement. He is Jeff Rimmer on the Bryan Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Rims, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well. Nice to be with the T-Boys today.
There you go.
Tito and T-Bone.
Tito and T-Bone. I love it. That's great. Rims, nice victory for the Jackets, 6-2 over Toronto. They'll never win anything again, Toronto. I'm convinced of it. But how sweet was that victory yesterday?
It was terrific. And I'm going to drop my name right away. You talk about legends. How about the legendary Scotty Bowman? it's kind of humorous, but I'm sitting here a couple of nights ago and watching the Toronto-Tampa game, and my phone rings, and I look at it, caller ID, and it's Scotty Bowman calling, the 90-year-old Scotty Bowman, who is still as sharp as ever. And, of course, the winningest coach in the history of the National Hockey League. He got 12 Stanley Cups. And he's calling me because Bally's, of course, has departed. There's a new name now, and Tampa was the first team to bring in the new, I guess.
It's FanDuel, right?
Call it?
FanDuel's the new spot. It's FanDuel Sports Network, whatever they're calling it.
Yeah. The new handle. And anyway, the long and short of it is that Scotty can't get the game, and he's calling me and asking me if I'm watching the game. I say, yeah, I'm watching the game on NHL Network. And, of course, he lives in the Tampa area, so he had Bally's, but he was getting it as part of his cable package. He wasn't getting it now. And anyway, long story short, he calls me back yesterday and tells me that it's going to cost him more money to watch the Lightning games. And he just says, I'll just head to the games because, of course, living in the Tampa region, he went to the arena quite often. But the reason I bring up Scotty is after we talked about his dilemma with his cable issue, he brought up the Blue Jackets. And again, sharp as a nail, I'll tell you. He has been watching the Jackets, and he made a point of saying they've got good young players, but he also praised the coaches. He says the Jackets have got a great coach in Evison who has been playing the right way, and talked about Mike Haviland, who was formerly with Chicago, and Scotty had a lifetime contract with the Blackhawks as a senior ambassador, and he certainly offered his 2 cents on pretty well everything. But he particularly was very high on the Blue Jackets, and despite all the injuries, he said this team is definitely headed in the in the right direction, and they've righted the wrong, so to speak.
So, Rims, I picture you still when you're watching games with a microphone, wherever you're at. I don't care if it's plugged in or not, and still announcing the game as it's going on around. People around you are probably annoyed by it because you just keep saying what's going on. But I'm curious, one, is that true? And two, has there been a point like where you miss it?
Well, I have an audience. If I want to do play-by-play, I've got my 3 dogs. The situation is they'll kind of look over at me, and I might have something to say. It might not be straight play-by-play if I'm watching something and either really impressed with it or perhaps disgusted. So, and as far as missing it, I still feel that I'm part of it. I will always be a Blue Jacket, and I'm enjoying things as they are. And, in fact, last night, what was it, Hockey Frenzy, with every team in the National Hockey League playing, and the games were scattered. I headed to watch the Panthers for a period. Went down to the arena. I don't live too far. Watched the period, then came home because the Jackets game started an hour later, and saw the majority of the Columbus win last night over Toronto.
Rims, they had a nice victory there, and an early start in this game where they got on Toronto early. And I saw a tweet by CBJ Public Relations saying they had already broken the record in the second period for most goals scored by a Blue Jackets team through its first 6 games. New franchise record. It ended up being 24 goals. Old record was 22. What do you attribute that to? Is that just a difference in the approach that the coaching staff has brought in to kind of encourage these guys to be a little bit more open and take some shots? What do you think's happening there?
Well, I think that's it in part. I'm going to give the coaches all kinds of credit, but I'm also going to give the players credit. And we talked about this a little bit last week, and certainly I've talked to you about it in the past. And the players are starting to pop. You're seeing Chinakhov take a step. You're seeing Cole Sillinger from last year stepping in again this year. You're seeing Fantilli, a healthy Fantilli, contributing. You're getting Justin Danforth, who's come back from an injury and has proven that he's an NHL player. You had Evison talk about him last night after the game and say, hey, this guy is a pro's pro. He's a man's man. We move him in the center. We know he can play there. He picks up 3 points. So it's a combination, and the Jackets know the way they've got to play. You have Zach Werenski saying repeatedly, we know how we have to play. And, of course, they let up in their previous game, and it was not a very good performance, but they more than made up with that Minnesota debacle with a solid performance against one of the better teams in the NHL last night in the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Rims, I know you want to talk about your guys, so go ahead and tell us about Buyers Import by the airport.
Well, the weather is superb. I understand another great day in Columbus. It's sunny here in Florida. And this is the time of the year that you can make your best deal on a new at Buyers Imports, whatever brand you're looking for, be it the Audi, Porsche, Subaru, Polestar, Volkswagen. They've got great deals. Volkswagen, in fact, has an exceptional lease offer going right now. They also offer what I think is the quickest oil change and lube job in the city. A half an hour, you're in and out, and you also have the luxury of getting that car clean. So head to Buyers Imports by the airport, and yeah, tell them Rimmer sent you for an extra special deal.
Oh, look at that. Rims, I know you already dropped your name there with Scotty Bowman. Let's talk goaltending for a second. Tarasov, is that a thing we could maybe start to rely on there? Do you think he maybe becomes the guy?
Dean Evason's made it very clear, T-Bone, that he's going to go with the guy that's hot. And it is, as we see it here right now with Tarasov's performance here in the early part of the season, that what has he won now? He's won his last started 3 in a row, and he's won 2 straight, not 2 straight, but
2 out of 3.
Of the last 3. Yeah, 2 out of 3. But hey, we knew Tarasov was a great goaltender. He's obviously, I don't even want to go there, but he had injury problems earlier on in his career. They expect a lot from him. So maybe he's another one of those guys I talked about popping and popping at the right time, because the Blue Jackets need the goaltending. A goaltender can win you games. And as I've had many a coach tell me over the years, a great goaltender can make a coach look like a great coach. And Tarasov certainly is handling the duties. And I suspect as long as he can keep going the way he is, he will continue to get the net. And that's a good thing for the Blue Jackets.
Yeah, I'll tell you, though, I feel like yesterday, at least in the first period, it was a lot of just the guys in front of him didn't give him much that he had to deal with. I mean, they were cleaning everything up. It probably helps keeping the puck in Toronto's end, too. But, like, I didn't feel like he had to do much that first period. And then the second period, he starts making saves left and right. It wasn't like he was, rusty or anything after having that light work. But maybe that helps, too, giving your guy not like a barrage of goals or shots he has to stop right from the start of the game,
Well, you're right again, T-Bone, but understand one thing here. It's important that the Jackets get the offensive contribution, but from a defensive standpoint, based on what we've seen here in the 2-3 previous years, that's one area where the team really had to improve. And the blue line is doing that right now. And they're doing it without a key performer. We haven't talked about it, but Eric Goodbranson underwent surgery this week out in Colorado. He is out indefinitely, well into the season for sure. And that's another big loss on the blue line. But again, you get young people like Christensen stepping in, and he's waited for his turn, and he's making the best of it, in my opinion. Zach Werenski's off to just a terrific start. What's he lost? As he said himself, 10 or 12 pounds. He looks like he is just gliding on that ice. I think, too, you look at the defense as a whole, and they have, I believe, really improved. So that's a big part of goaltending. Cut down, defend in front, and especially against a prolific scoring team like Toronto. And the Blue Jackets certainly outplayed the Leafs for the entire 60 minutes, in my opinion.
Rims, we appreciate this. We'll talk again next week and hopefully talk about some more Jackets victories, okay?
I love it. You guys have a great rest of the show, and we'll talk to you again next week.
There you go. Name dropping with Jeff Rimmer on the Bryan Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline.
That was one of my best. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
My best moments. One of my best ones. Like you had like Save the Crew, all that stuff you did on radio, right? Common Man had like the Obama on, all stuff. All these. My greatest thing was getting Rimmer to use my name on name dropping one time. That surprised you guys.
He did. It was great. Yes. I loved it. Back Page is coming up next. It's Man and Bone on the Fan.
Fan Traffic.
Sponsored by Meister's Bar and Pizza, home of the Grandview Browns backers.
Slower traffic is causing a 10-minute delay on southbound 270 on the West Outer Belt between Cemetery Road and I-70. And you're looking at a 15-minute delay if you're on eastbound 33 from Refugee Road to Ebright Road. This report is sponsored by Z-Bart. Tough roads demand tougher protection. Shield your vehicle's underside with genuine Z-Bart undercoating from $2.99 and fortify your truck bed against scratches, impacts, and dents with Rhino Lining Spray-On Bed Liner starting at $4.99. Z-Bart, your vehicle's best defense. I'm Nicole for 97.1 The Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by Prime Sports. Download the Prime Sports Ohio app today or visit primesportsbook.com and use promo code JUSTSPORTS for a welcome bonus of up to $100.
Buckeye Country Superfest 2025, Saturday, June 21st, Ohio Stadium, one night only. Headlined by Jelly Roll and Kane Brown.
Yeah, that's how I get.
With special guest Megan Maroney, Treaty Oak Revival, Dasha, Connor Smith. Tickets are on sale now at BuckeyeCountrySuperfest.com.
We can break it in if you know what I mean. Put some miles on it.
Welcome, Columbus, to the all-new Toyota Direct. We've expanded our showroom, enhanced our service with 6 lanes, 85 bays, and 65 techs. Enjoy the new lounges with all of the comforts and extras. And now get 0% for up to 72 months on 100% of all-new 24 and 25 Toyotas. Come see your all-new Toyota Direct, the area's #1 Toyota dealer.
0% for 72 on a new 24 Tundra with approved credit. Max financed MSRP on vehicle. Cannot combine offers. Must take delivery from dealer stock by 10/31/24. See dealer for details.
I didn't expect to, but I need to get a new health insurance plan. The good news is I found Health Markets. I went to healthmarkets.com and saw plans available in my area. They have access to more than 200 carriers across the country. And if you need help, you can just speak with a licensed insurance agent. It's all right there for you.
Discover the advantages of real personalized service today at healthmarkets.com. Health Markets Insurance Agency, Inc. is licensed as an insurance agency nationwide except in Massachusetts. Paid actor per trail.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change will help ease your oil change-anxiety. Picture expert technicians who are quick but not rushed. When you hear the bell, breathe in and out. Now, let go of your oil change-anxiety. Visit Valvoline Instant Oil Change today and find automotive peace. No appointment needed.
Football season is here, and we have so much stuff. One station isn't enough. Find even more pigskin on ESPN Columbus.
Set your second preset to AM 1460 or 97.1 FM HD2, or listen on the Fan app.
Your home of the Buckeyes, the Fan.
Leaves changing in the nighttime air is cool. Fall is the perfect time to have the Waterworks inspect and tune up your furnace. Protect your family against those wintertime furnace breakdowns. Call 614-232-2222 now to schedule.
Common Man and T-Bone here for Hollywood Casino Columbus. Hey, Bone, did you know the sportsbook is now called ESPN Bet?
I did, and you can watch your favorite teams on the biggest screens, place your bets, and grab some wings with an ice-cold pint.
Maybe you're too boring and don't want to go to the casino. Good news. You can keep the action going and place your bets on the go with the ESPN Bet app.
The ESPN Bet Sportsbook is your 50-yard line ticket to odds, point spreads, and over-unders.
It's the place to be. Losers must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
By the time you're finished listening to this Pepsi Zero Sugar, you'll be 15 seconds closer to kickoff. Stock up now. Bengals game day is so close, you can almost taste it. Bengals watching. Better with Pepsi.
We all know Central Ohio's growing fast. It's making traffic worse and life more expensive. That's why voting yes on Issue 47 is so important. Issue 47 will help folks get to work faster and cheaper by creating COTA Rapid Bus Service. That means more routes, better hours, and more reliable service. That will expand access to transportation for everyone in our community, from the elderly to the disabled, to veterans and students. And Issue 47 will make our neighborhoods safer and more walkable by building 500 miles of sidewalks, trails, and bikeways. When we pass Issue 47, we'll get $1 billion in matching funds from the federal government to pay for it. We're already sending our tax dollars to D.C. Let's bring some of that money home to help our community. Issue 47 means safer neighborhoods and a better quality of life for our families. It's an easy call. Vote yes on Issue 47. Paid for by moving Central Ohio forward.
Saturday is game day on the Fan.
Sponsored by Riker Chevy.
Every game, every season, your home of the Buckeyes, the Fan.
Final segment of the program. Jeff Tito Thidoff is in today. Thank you, Tito, for filling in. I appreciate it.
My pleasure. You know me. I never say no.
I know you don't. You're always ready in case we need you to. Except that one time where we asked you to come in and you couldn't, so Mike had to do 3 hours with fill-ins and.
No, I could have that day. Don't you dare.
No. I think we asked multiple times. Like, Tito, please spare us from an hour of Adam King.
I skipped one of my majors to come in here.
What does that mean?
Wow.
Columbus Majors. You know about it, yeah. I skipped a big golf thing, yeah. And then I skipped one day.
Oh,
it's
that
the one
thing.
I've missed since 2004. Well, I missed one because I was injured. But other than that,
Ryan
that's
Baker.
the only one I missed.
Ryan Baker's hosting the Buckeye Show tonight, along with DeVere Posey. Baker is here. Hello, Bakes.
What's up, Bone? How are you?
I'm good. I didn't know when he said majors. I forgot he has his Columbus majors
He
that are
does.
his own golfing majors.
Yes.
How do you do in those? Do you ever win them?
Nicholas does always win the Memorial, so he didn't. So.
You won the one this year. There was argument about it. There was controversy, but who walked away with all the money?
I did. I
won.
I won.
Baker,
You're right. That's what it is.
do you play in these?
I did this year.
I didn't know.
I actually played golf today. It was not pretty, and I had been playing pretty good today. Not so much.
Would you consider yourself to be a decent golfer, or do you think
I'm okay? I used to be a pretty good golfer, but then I didn't play much for like 10 years, and I'm not nearly as consistent now as I used to be. But
who is the best golfer? Is it Rothman still? Is he the best golfer here that you guys know?
Probably Rothman. Yeah. Well,
or would Timmy have something to say?
We'll get a text from Timmy here. We'll get a text from Timmy.
I think Reimer's pretty good too.
Oh yeah, Jacob
Reimer. I think he said the other day he shot an 80 and was like complaining about it, saying he didn't shoot very good.
Yeah, I was also same problem I have. I hit 78 the other day, and I was like, come on, Bone, do better than that.
It hit 78 on the thermometer today, I think.
Yeah,
I think Tim's probably better than Rothman now.
Stop
yeah, but
it.
Rothman,
I do.
But Rothman won that. Was it a club championship? What did he win?
Rothman's so consistent.
I know he is, but I think Tim might be better now.
This is gonna be so much fun when Tim's back tomorrow. We're gonna have a good time discussing that.
Oh yeah,
when he hears all the slander, or what he'll call slander, I'm sure going on. All right, so Bake, I hear you got a guest coming up in this 1 hour show at 6:33. Good Buckeye legend coming on with you guys.
Yeah, so last night I found out that I'd be hosting today with DeVere, and I always send DeVere or Tyvus, whoever, a text. I'm like, hey, if there's anything you want to talk about, because nobody wants to hear me, they want to hear them, and I want them to talk about what they want to talk about. But for some reason last night when I was sending that text to DeVere, I said, or if you have any former teammates that might want to come on. He was like, well, let me reach out to a couple people. Well, unfortunately, he didn't get a former teammate of his, but he might have done better because he has former Buckeye national champion safety Mike Doss joining us at 6:30 tonight. So that's pretty cool.
Love that. That's great. All right, well, that should be a lot of fun. Then we have after Buckeye show, the 7 o'clock Inside Edge, 8 o'clock, it is on the money, 9 o'clock, Browns preview.
I think it's the Kevin Stefanski show.
Kevin
Stefanski. That's on Friday night.
It's Browns preview something.
Yeah.
It is whatever
it
it
doesn't
is.
matter.
It's a loud fart noise is what it is. It's going to be great. You should be excited for that. And then after that, a little thing called You'll See.
Jameis is going to throw the ball to the other team.
Yeah, that's what it's. Yeah, and Ken Dorsey will break a headset in the press box.
Who's
should be a lot of
traded
fun.
next?
It's fun. Fun times up in Cleveland. But Back Page is next. Let's do that.
The Back Page. The Back Page with Common Man and T-Bone.
Sponsored by Care Heating and Cooling. When you need a company you can trust, call 1-800-COOLING.
I forgot, Tito. I have to pay off on my tease.
What was the tease?
My tease was Rex Ryan was asked about his foot fetish.
Right.
He says, still going. He was on a show called The Pivot this week where he said, I quote, I love my wife's feet. I want to remind you, this guy's still on ESPN as an NFL analyst. I love my wife's feet. I don't know what it is, but if a chick's got jacked up feet, I'm out. I don't care how gorgeous, I'm out. I don't know what the hell it is. Some people are leg guys. Of course, I notice a pretty gorgeous face, whatever, but I'm checking the feet out. I don't kink shame. If that's your thing, that's your thing. I'm just pointing out that Rex Ryan, I remember when this first happened and he had a tattoo and we all were like, there's no way that's real. Yeah. And then now it's like, it's established fact that Rex Ryan is just like, oh yeah, I'm a feet guy.
Back in the 70s and 80s, there were a lot of barefoot kickers. How awkward would that have been for him? Like Tony Franklin or Steve Cox used to kick, I think Rich Carlos used to kick barefoot.
That's right.
Could have been awkward for him.
A lot of guys did that, yeah.
I wonder who the last barefoot kicker was, now that you say that.
I bet it was Rich Carlos.
It was in the 90s.
I bet it was Rich Carlos with Broncos. That'd be my guess.
Okay. I don't know. I mean, I don't know the answer on this, but it feels like there was, I don't know, it feels like there was someone that played for, like, the Buccaneers for, like, half a season that didn't wear a sock, like in the 90s or early 2000s, I want to say. I don't know why I'm
one of the Iggy gays.
I remember barefoot kickers.
Yeah.
I also wonder how he feels when he flips across the TV guide and he sees barefoot contestant. He's just like, oh, yeah. And then he gets there. It's like, oh, it's just food. Why is this chick got her shoes on? What's going on?
Are you guys pretentious and use chopsticks when you eat, like, Chinese food?
I wish I could.
Okay.
Like, I don't know if that's pretentious. I wish I could eat it the way, like, it's served, but
Right.
I'm not good with the chopsticks. I've never really learned how to use them. So
Okay, I
no.
say it's pretentious because I can't do it. So that's why I think I can't do it. It's like,
figured, yes.
you're probably a jerk if you can do it and I can't. How about you?
You
Vic?
think a lot of stuff's pretentious
I do.
there.
Right. There's driving on the right side of the road. Come on,
It's going to be a thing when you go to actual China where that's what is used. But go ahead.
Sumayaya Khan. Sumayaya Khan, traditional spelling, 24 years old. She set a Guinness World Record. She ate X amount of pieces of rice, one grain of rice at a time in 1 minute. How many individual grains of rice
with chopsticks
in 1 minute do you think she was able to eat?
2? I mean, it just seems like if you could do 1, that would be impressive, let alone, I guess I would say
1 grain at a time.
Let's say 10.
123.
37. That is the new world record. Apparently, the old record was 27. So she
destroyed it.
Yeah, she did the whole Kobayashi thing on that one. She just destroyed that thing altogether. But yeah, 37, which I don't know why you'd want to, but yes.
Hey, you got the world record. All I know is we got to find a world record that's like very easily where it's like most people sitting down on a Sunday in like an airport and then we just
do
show
that
up
one.
and then do
Right.
that. I think is what you have to do. All right, Baker, enjoy the Buckeye Show. I'm looking forward to hearing this. You and DeVere should be a lot of fun. Yep. And then we'll have Inside Edge and On the Money after that. We'll be back tomorrow. Thanks again to Tito. It's Man and Bone on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
Sponsored by Meister's Bar and Pizza, home of the Grandview Browns backers.
Watch for some stop-and-go traffic if you're on westbound 70 downtown between the 71 East Split and Livingston Avenue. And you're going to hit a 15-minute delay on southbound 270 on the West Outer Belt between Tuttle Crossing Boulevard and I-70. This report is sponsored by Ohio Laborers and Ohio Lesset. The Ohio Laborers, they're more than just hard hats and tools. They're the backbone of Ohio's infrastructure, constructing vital projects that shape your communities. Witness their members as they construct solar energy facilities, harnessing the power of the sun for Ohio's future. Build Ohio right, build it Union. I'm Nicole for 97.1 The Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by Roof Revivers. Whether you need a quick repair or a full replacement, Roof Revivers has you covered. Visit roofrevivers.com today. Roof Revivers. We fix leaky roofs.
This is a Fan Action Update.
Download the Prime Sports Ohio app today or visit primesportsbook.com and use the promo code JUSTSPORTS for a welcome bonus of up to $100. Updating the Buckeyes odds, Ohio State's minus 700 to make the college football playoff, plus 165 to win the Big Ten. Oregon is the favorite at plus 130, and Ohio State's plus 450 to win the national title behind only Georgia at plus 330. For your action update, I'm Scotty Vegas.
We've seen it before. Politicians and lobbyists playing games, drawing voting maps to keep power in their hands, not ours. Courts have ruled Ohio's voting districts unconstitutional 7 times, while our communities have been left out again and again. But this November, you have a chance to change that with Issue 1. Issue 1 will make it illegal for politicians to manipulate voting districts for themselves or their own party. Instead, it creates an open, transparent process where a diverse group of citizens, not politicians, will draw the lines. No more backroom deals, no more gerrymandering, just fairer maps that represent our communities. Issue 1 gives you and me the power to ensure everyone's vote counts. This is about real change, a chance to end the games and make our voices heard. So vote yes on Issue 1, fair representation, and power to the people. Paid for by citizens, not politicians.
Have you tried all the great new food at Ohio Stadium? Each home game, the Levy Culinary Team creates a burger named after the opponent. Taste the competition burger. This Saturday will feature the Nebraska Coffee Break Burger, featuring a fresh beef patty, seasoned with freshly ground coffee rub, topped with bacon jam, leaf lettuce, sliced tomato, and finished with Gouda cheese. Try the Nebraska Coffee Break Burger at the Taste the Competition burger carts at Section 8 on A deck and Section 12 on C deck on game day.
One great idea can change your life.
ABC Fridays. Shark Tank is all new.
That's the American dream right there.
With guest shark Todd Graves, founder of Raising Cane's.
I want to be on a team with you.
Emmy-winning Shark Tank, Fridays 8, 7 Central on ABC and stream on Hulu.
Hi, this is Ron from the Good Feet store. Are you standing on painful feet all day? Don't lose hope. We want to help you live without pain. Discover your options and visit goodfeet.com. Or stop in today at the Good Feet store on Polaris Parkway in Grove City.
From the mind of a 2-foot-tall talking spokes puppet comes this year's biggest challenge. It's time for Bob's Dare to Compare, the hottest game show on TV that asks, what happens when you compare Bob's to the competition? You get style. You get quality. You get beeps and boops and dings and whomps. And thousands of dollars in savings. Everyone's a winner when you dare to compare with Bob's Discount Furniture. Shop in store or at mybobs.com to play now.
Hey, it's Steve. Sorry couldn't get to the phone. Leave a message at the beep.
Hey, it's Jason from Chase. Congrats on closing day. Hope your daughter enjoys the new pool.
Start your house buying journey today with the Chase My Home digital dashboard. From applications to managing your mortgage, we're with you all the way home. Chase, make more of what's yours. Visit chase.com/home. Restrictions and limitations apply to the access of Chase My Home. Home lending products subject to credit and property approval. Rates and program terms subject to change. Other restrictions apply. Member FDIC. Equal housing opportunity.
Common Man here. I've told you about my friends at Sell for 1% Realtors. I am back to remind you that if you're thinking about selling your home, it should not cost you 6% to do it. Their premise is almost too good to be true. They sell your home for 1% commission, not 6. That's it. I had to check it out for myself, see if it was legit. I met with the family-run business here in Central Ohio. They will give you everything you expect from any realtor for a whole lot less. This is full service, not discount. They literally do everything that a realtor who charges you 6% is going to do, and probably more. They can do it because they use today's technology, which has made the realtor's job easier, taking photos, signing documents on your phone. And instead of keeping their prices the same like everybody else does, they pass the savings on to you because they know you're going to be happy with the service. Tell a friend, they get more business. Oh, what a novel concept. If I knew about these guys 10 years ago, I would have saved a boatload of money. On average, customers save about 10 grand in commissions. If you're selling, give my guys a call. 614-451-6616. Sell for 1%.